It's not right because just say no. Oh, they're alive.
What did you just? We got to do the thing. Good God, man! This is. All right. I don't know how to do the fancy video thing. Maddie's internet is down, so we're gonna. What's up, everybody? Do not adjust your dial. It is the Mandalorians here. Maddie's internet wasn't working, so we carried the torch for him, and we're doing a fantastic job. I am incredibly humbled by this experience, and Devin cannot stop laughing for some reason. I'm going to turn it over to a guy who's much more charismatic with myself than myself, and is much better with words. Aaron, take it away.
That is the most noise Devin has made in the entire run of this show. He's going a minute straight. Hey guys, for anyone who decides to start watching, welcome to After Dark. As he said, Maddie's unfortunately not with us tonight. We're also down a couple other regulars. Kevin wasn't available. Matt Beer wasn't available. So yeah, we're just kind of running the ship. You know, just imagine we're already into the iceberg and the captain's gone, so we're the guys that are just kind of steering it till we sink.
We're the lower decks.
Yeah, like the lower decks, Devin just said. He had a good joke, and he didn't even say it out loud for everybody to hear. And we got mashed potatoes joining us tonight. Tater, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to go down with this ship, apparently. This should be fun. I don't know really what we're doing, but I'm always down to talk. So let's talk about some movies and TV shits.
Yeah, well, we don't have a soundbite for you, so I played Kevin's soundbite. It's the best I could do. The ship is sinking.
Cool.
We're like those violin players in the Titanic. Yeah, as we're sinking with the ship. Diaz, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. I got my power back, so happy to be back on. Just to be a fun one, and yeah, let's do the best we can. Yeah,
Power's back. Incredible. Wow.
Booth?
Power's booth. Yes.
You can see it.
He was in the Avengers.
Yeah. Got my power back at, I think my mom and dad said around like 1 o'clock in the afternoon today. Right.
Well, hopefully our fearless leader, Maddie, can join us if he gets his internet back.
No, he used an escape pod.
He used an escape pod, yes. So
He left on the captain's yacht.
he left on the captain's yacht, which we never saw on Voyager, but we did see in Star Trek Insurrection. And no other segue needed right there. Star Trek. There was a new Star Trek show that premiered this week. Lower Decks. When you don't know what to do what you know. Lower Decks started this week. I got a chance to watch it. Devin got a chance to watch it. I don't think the rest of you got a chance to watch it.
Nope.
But you saw the trailer for it, and that's okay because we're not going to spoil anything for you because there's nothing to spoil. This show is nonsense. I couldn't spoil this show for you if I wanted to. We have mixed opinions about it. I'll tell you what I thought about it, and then you guys can talk about like what you think is going to come of this show. It's basically Rick and Morty in space, but worse. And there's these characters that are idiots. They're on the lower decks, like they're people you don't care about on a starship, and they're not even on a good starship. Best part of the show is the opening, like the opening credits. It's a good like Star Trek sequence where like they're crashing into things. It's pretty silly. But the show itself, the animation's fine. The characters are so annoying. I think that might be the point. But my biggest problem with it is it's not funny. Good thing is that it looks like Star Trek, and yeah, so that was my quick just take on Lower Decks. I don't like it yet. I'm gonna keep watching, giving it a chance. Aaron, what do you think about this aspirational venture for Star Trek? Much like ourselves tonight, a disaster in the making.
I mean, what I would say is I will always give credit to brand creators when you branch out and make something new. As somebody who has not seen a majority of what Star Trek has made, but I understand the tone and it's a more intellectual sci-fi, and that's what they're going for. I respect, and I like these movies. These are some of the ones that I have seen, but I do like and I respect them for like the '09 Star Trek, because it was their attempt at trying to change certain things about Star Trek around to make it more receptible to a wider audience, and seeing if they could bring them in and then seeing if they could get them into the more intellectual side of Star Trek. Based on, again, I don't have CBS All Access, so I can't speak on the shows they've launched there, but it seems like reception towards Discovery has grown over the years. People seem to have a little more of a fondness for it now. Reception for Picard seemed to be overall positive. I do know some people that didn't love it, but it seems like most people at least liked it. So I respect them for going for something totally different. Animated's not new to Star Trek. They've done it before years and years ago.
They did the short tracks too. Michael Giacchino directed one of them.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. But yeah, the idea of like Rick and Morty as Star Trek seems like one of those weird ideas that somebody comes up with, and you never think it's going to be real, except now it is. But yeah, again, I can't speak for the show's actual humor itself, but I respect the intent of them trying to go for it. Hopefully it works out, and maybe it's one of those shows that kind of finds its footing. A show that was recent that I felt had that issue was Netflix's Disenchantment. Now, I've only seen the first season. I have not seen the second season yet. I plan to eventually, but I haven't seen it. But in the first season, especially, those first couple of episodes are definitely rough, and you can feel Groening and the crew, the cast, the production, all of it. It was very rough, and even by the end of the first season, you can see where they were starting to find their footing and figuring it out, and it set itself up to potentially get better as it goes on, which based off reviews, it sounds like it has. So hopefully this can go that direction instead of the other. But like I said, I haven't seen it. If the first episode is free online, I'll definitely go check it out. If it's 20 minutes of my life, I don't really care about losing it. But
you said something interesting. I don't remember what it was, but I was going to respond to it. You said a lot of interesting things.
I'm an interesting man. Thank you.
No, it was something about with the lower decks of how you thought it was never going to start. Yeah, that's
right.
What
It sounds like
Devin, this show is never going to happen for years.
Yeah.
Here it is.
This to me sounds like, and it's one of the stories that we can talk about in a little bit, but this kind of sounds like when you heard the initial sentence of like a Tarantino Star Trek movie, and you're like, that's fucking weird. That'll never happen.
Maybe.
And that also might be something that comes to fruition eventually. But this is one of those that has, and I forget the guy's name, but I know he was one of the bigger writers on Rick and Morty, which is a show that I've actually only just seen for the first time, and I do think it's very funny. So hopefully he can kind of find his footing and get the show going in a better direction. Because
Dan Harmon or Justin Roiland, I don't remember which one.
Yeah, Tater, what do you think about this? Do you like Star Trek? Do you like Rick and Morty?
I love Star Trek, and much like Aaron, I just got into Rick and Morty like maybe a few months ago. But I love it. I feel like that's kind of the exception to the rule that he was saying that like a lot of animated shows don't get their feet right away. Like that Rick and Morty came out the gate like strong. So it's unfortunate that I think it is Justin Roiland had kind of a misfire on this one. Like I love everything Star Trek. I'll check it out. Like I don't have CBS All Access, so I'm not up to date on the canon now, but yeah, I've been a longtime Star Trek fan, like born and raised. So I'll watch anything with it. I'll definitely give it a chance. Like I think even Futurama had that same kind of problem where it took like 5 or 6 episodes to really find their stride and like know what they were.
Glad you said that.
So
yeah.
I feel like if it finds its feet, I'll be really happy. Like you said, it's one of those absurd things that you never thought was going to happen, like a story about the little people on I guess it's not the Enterprise, but on a Federation starship.
Sorry.
Futurama.
I do find it.
Futurama is a good comparison. Cool. I mean, I love Futurama, so again, like I'd love to get into it.
I do think it's weird or disappointing that like the people on the ship are dumb, because I feel like anybody below decks would have to be actually really intelligent to get a job on a Federation starship. They're the people that actually make it run, so that's a little weird to me. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. I just see the trailer and it looks good.
Yeah, Diaz, what do you think? Are you a fan of
What
Rick
was
and
that?
Morty?
I am.
I already forgot what I said.
Yeah. So with Rick and Morty, I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's funny. I just need to find a website to watch. I see one of them. They extremely have it, but yeah, with Star Trek, I have a complicated history with. I love a lot of stuff. I hate a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the TV show, I feel like because of how successful Star Wars was with the animation stuff, Star Trek trying to catch up. I think maybe that way I feel rough. Because they try to be the next Clone War, the next Rebel, the next. I forget the other animated one. Star Wars Resistance, that's the other one. But who knows? I mean,
they're doing Bad Batch now too.
Yeah, but it
Those were dramas, though.
Yeah, but they had that type of comedy, with like Chopper and Rebel, with a bunch of characters.
And Chopper was good comedy too, and that's the thing. Like that was funny when they tried to go with Chopper. Like that was slapsticky. It was kind of funny, silly. But with this show, my biggest problem with it was that it wasn't funny. Like they're pitching it as a comedic Star Trek cartoon from the producers of Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, I'm not like kneeling at the altar of Rick and Morty.
So since you're bringing it back up, I decided to do the research real quick just so I would know. So it's actually neither Harmon or Justin Roiland. The person who created it is a writer named Mike McMahon. So he was a lead writer and producer on Rick and Morty. And he was the showrunner most recently of the show's 4th season, but I believe he left right after the production work on this. But to give you an idea, he was one of the people who won the show's Primetime Emmy Award for the work on the episode Pickle Rick, and he also recently created the Hulu show Solar Opposites alongside Justin Roiland. So he's someone who's only just moving into creating his own shows. He's been more of a staff writer and head writer recently. But according to just what I've been able to find, I believe he may have been one of the big helpers with a lot of the sci-fi work. In interviews, apparently, he's jokingly called himself like the sci-fi guy of the writer's crew. So that makes sense that he would then jump into a Star Trek show.
So I was about to say, it could be like what happened with Clone Wars. Clone Wars started off a little rough with season 1. We go back and watch season 1, but it got better as it went along. Rebel,
and
what fantastic in season 1. That's the opposite.
And I would
started
say
taking itself more seriously.
Yeah, and I would say like I compared it to Disenchantment, Mashed Potatoes. That's gonna be weird to call you that, but I'll go through it. Mashed Potatoes. You brought up Futurama. And I would say that's another show that had a very similar, like when you go back now and watch those earlier seasons compared to where it was able to go like mid-show run, that show definitely had some stumbles when it started too. It did not start off perfect. So I think it all depends on how long, if this is an okay first season, is CBS willing to invest the money into giving them a second season to try and extend? Because honestly, and I'll say as someone who just watched Rick and Morty, even I don't think Rick and Morty's first season was the strongest. I definitely think it got stronger in seasons 2 and 3. So a lot of shows deal with this. It's just, are they willing? Is it going to get the viewership to give it the leg run?
Even other shows.
What did well was that it was willing to grow with its audience. Rebels too. Like as the show went on, the themes of the show got more and more mature. It got darker. I don't think we're going to have any sort of like tonal shift when it comes to this show. This show seems to know what it is
because it's animation comedy. Yes,
it's an animation comedy of a Star Trek. It's Star Trek making fun of itself,
right? Whereas with Clone Wars, the shifts that it made didn't actually change the overall show itself. Things
it was
like
always meant to be taken seriously.
Showing instead of showing snips, you show the character of Ahsoka, and cut back on maybe the Jar Jar and the slapsticky things like that. You were inserting into episodes.
Roger. God.
Chris, what were you saying?
Don't make me frickin' castrate you, Jar Jar. We'll see what that voice sounds like.
I was
afterwards.
joking about the droid and the Roger stuff was a little bit annoying the first season.
But yeah, but that's the point is the show continued its same tone, but it went from being a kid show to a little more of a grown up show.
Oh yeah.
Versus this show is, unless this show becomes serious and it becomes like a balance of a comedy drama, probably honestly very similar to what the Orville seems to be. I don't see a tonal shift happening. Because is the Orville kind of a balance between the two?
Yeah,
A little bit. Orville is good Star Trek with a couple of jokes thrown in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, like,
also is like hit and miss when it comes to
Yeah. So like on
so-
Star Trek,
Well,
you would have a holodeck episode where
also
like a
weird.
holodeck character became sentient. And on the Orville, what they have is that like, okay, they have a holodeck episode and the holodeck gets a porn virus. So like they'll take it just as
Remember that.
seriously,
Yeah.
but
Right.
there'll be like a hyper realistic scenario there.
Well, here's another example, and if we compare like live action shows that start out well. For someone who's about almost done Umbrella Academy, first season Umbrella Academy is rough. Then it got improved when it got to the second season.
I hated that show.
I've
It
heard
gets-
it's improved. I haven't seen it, but
It gets
my
so much
both
better.
my
for
siblings
season
have
two.
watched it, and they said it's gotten better.
I like that and Doom Patrol. Like I just don't like off color like superheroes that are like not superhero. When I watch a superhero, I knew you were gonna say that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is when I watch a superhero show, I want to watch a superhero show.
You just don't like that comic writer.
Yeah, with season
Is it
two,
the same comic writer? Is that really
the
it?
same guy. Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no idea at all.
I believe his name is Gerard Way. It's the same guy. He wrote the original runs
Yeah.
of Umbrella
Gerard Way
Academy
from My
and Doom
Chemical
Patrol.
Romance.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
Yes,
from My Chemical
same guy.
Romance. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
So
Umbrella
he hates
Academy
comics
is
like his
like
music.
I hate his comics. I
perfect
guess. Yeah.
example of improving from season 1 to season 2 because Umbrella Academy refining it where it suffered from character decisions, and then season 2 did like we know what we did wrong, and season 2 is probably one of my favorite TV of this year so far.
Is the monkey still? I hated the monkey. Like
No,
I
he
wanted
not-
to kick the monkey.
he-
No,
ass.
He only in
mon-
2 episodes.
the
of
monkey
season
dies
2
at the
so
end
far.
of.
Good.
He died.
Yeah,
at the
but
end of
I didn't
season
want like I
one,
saw
so-
it on the thumbnail and it's like I hate this monkey. Like this is a waste of money. It's
But
expensive.
they improve with the Vanya
I didn't
stuff.
realize
The
that it
Vanya
was-
stuff gets so much better in season 2, bro.
I guess it
yeah,
is.
draw away. Yeah, I
I
knew
Umbrella Academy. I didn't know.
I knew he did
Doom
Umbrella
Patrol.
Academy. Like that was something I heard
Yeah.
a long time ago. I didn't know he also had done Doom Patrol as well.
Yeah.
But going back to
Love
the
Doom.
animation, what you were saying about like Clone Wars and Rebels, I think this reminds me of the first time I watched Resistance. Was watching the Lower Decks.
Ooh,
Because when I watched
Ooh,
Resistance,
no.
I knew I hated that show from the first episode, and that,
Yeah.
that there's not much they can do to improve upon that. That just wasn't for me. I'm worried that this is what Lower Decks is going to be for me.
Well,
Ooh.
the good news is it's probably not going to be 25 episodes like Resistance was.
No, it's
Is it a 10? Is it a 10 order or
I
13?
think it's 12 because they said it's like 23 straight weeks of Star Trek, so they're doing like maybe it's 10. I think it's 10 and
But
13. So they're
it's
like
this and Discovery, right? Or
it's
going back
Discovery
to back.
back to back. Yeah, Discovery. I'll be excited about. Devin, you actually saw the episode. What are your thoughts?
Look.
Fuck.
So.
Good God, man.
It's a like a poor man Futurama that was getting from all of this.
I think he said everything he has to say about it, and he said nothing. Just a lot of
I mean, he said
signing.
He
fun.
really wants to like it. Okay, you said he really wants to.
Actually, okay, because I was
It,
expecting you to like it, and like I wanted to hear some of that, like what's good about it.
So you're not liking this review.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll tell you some good things about it.
I see the potential.
They have the background, like the backdrop. It has like the Lacars. It looks like a show that would take place in the 90s. Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. The uniforms are different, which I don't understand why the uniforms would be different if
Like
it
even
takes
the
place in
Admiral
that time
uniforms
period.
they show is different, which is
Yeah.
even more confusing.
That it's a little bit closer, but it's the design of the ship is illogical. The saucer section is separated from the engineering section, which it's just connected by pylons. So it's just like the lower decks people are almost on a completely different ship.
So
the saucer
they
section.
showed in the diagrams that
it's
the
okay.
lower decks people are still in the saucer.
That's fine. The ship's illogical. The best part of the design is
Okay.
the opening. The opening, but not the design. The episode. You're making me nervous. What are you doing? If you're good, I don't know what's happening. So, what's good about the show is that I don't know. Aaron, you had more Star Trek news apparently.
Yeah, so I was going to say, we spent almost as long on that episode as the episode is runtime.
Yes.
But I was going to say it's got to be about 20
And we had
minutes.
more
right?
jokes that
Yeah,
landed.
that may be fair. So what we decided to do, like pre-show, since we had a guest previously, unfortunately they couldn't be here tonight. I realized the way I said that it makes it sound like they're dead. I promise they're not dead, but they just couldn't be here. And so what we decided to do was I just went and looked up a bunch of recent movie news stories that have happened over the last couple of days, and we're going to just kind of jump from story to story, I guess, and discuss what we can out of these different stories. Not that there's much happening right now. The world is kind of still shut down a little bit, unless you're like me and live in Florida, in which case you can go to fucking Disney World. But we will keep with Star Trek to keep Nikki happy. And so there was a report that came out a couple of days ago, and I'm paraphrasing here, so if the quoting isn't exactly right, don't hold me to it. But basically, Paramount currently is believed to have 3 different Star Trek films in development, all of which are on some type of hold for the moment, and they're working to figure out what their plans are going forward. Now, we do have a description of each of the 3. So the first one is the one that was rumored before, which is essentially Star Trek 4. So this would be the 4th film in the Kelvin universe? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Kelvin timeline.
Okay. So it'd be the 4th one in the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
Which would see the same cast from Star Trek Beyond, unfortunately sans Anton Yelchin return. And the rumor with the story of that was that it was going to have a time travel element that would see Chris Hemsworth return as George, right? Is that his name?
George Kirk, yeah.
Yeah, Kirk. That's his last name. I was going to say Pike, and I was like, I don't think that's
Who died on the Kelvin. No, but Captain Pike is a great man, and we should not forget about him. Kelvin timeline, Captain Pike was played by Bruce Greenwood, and he tragically passed in Star Trek Into Darkness. So Aaron
The character, not the actor.
has jumped off of the boat.
Yeah.
And now he's freezing in the waters. But yeah, so this Star Trek 4, this was the one that I was most excited about. Early on, we talks with this movie, they were saying that the 2 Chris's wanted too much money, and then that's why they kind of stopped production of it. I think this one's the most likely to happen out of the ones that Aaron was going to bring up. I love this cast. It's a shame, like Anton Yelchin, Leonard Nimoy, they passed and they can't continue on with the franchise. But it would really be nice to get Chris Hemsworth back in the franchise. And maybe he could take like that helm officer spot just when like they're showing it in the bridge. So that's the one that I was more excited about and most likely to happen. Aaron, you had more on that Star Trek 4. My
internet decided to be funny, but not totally cancel me out. I'm still here. So if you guys remember the story when that originally came out, the movie was originally put on hold because of perceived wage issues. Because of the lackluster reception in terms of box office for Star Trek Beyond, I believe they were looking to lower the budget on the 4th film, which would include lowering the cast wages, and they were apparently having issues with contracts, specifically with Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth, which is fair. They are both bigger stars, especially if you're bringing Hemsworth back to Star Trek after years of being Thor. They would demand a certain amount of money at that point. Now, not much is known if they had solved those contract issues, but apparently that same story is still on the table, and I found the director. So the director that is attached to it is a director by the name of S.J. Clarkson. Now, she is a British director who she's only directed one film. She directed some kind of small indie film back in 2010. She has worked on a handful of very popular shows, including Heroes, Dexter.
Wait, which season of Heroes? That's important.
Yeah, but season Dexter, bro.
Yeah, that's very important.
That's very
Season
important.
4 of Heroes.
Ooh, no.
Okay,
Hold on. Season 4 of Dexter.
Okay,
and
we're
5.
good. Okay, we are good. Season 4 Dexter had John Lithgow.
I can't find the rest of them offhand. She also
Heroes is the opposite of what we were talking about. Had a stellar first season and then just.
She also worked on Bates Motel, Orange is the New Black, the first season of Jessica Jones. So she's got a handful. She's got a handful of very big budgeted TV projects that she's worked on over the years, and so she is the person that would be in line to work on this. Now they also have 2 other film projects that are kind of in various stages of production. The first would be, I don't know if it's written solely or written and directed by Noah Hawley, who is the showrunner and writer of shows like Legion and Fargo. His not much is known about what his story would be, but in this article there was a new tidbit of information that I hadn't seen before previously that discussed the idea of his film centering around some kind of virus that is spreading, which is incredibly ironic because of what's happening now. And then the third one, which people have known about, is the Tarantino script, where there was that big headline of Tarantino directing Star Trek. And the updated information that article gave us is that script that's being worked on is a story that was given to them by Tarantino. And the script is currently being worked on by a writer named Mark L. Smith, who was a co-writer on films such as The Revenant and Overlord. So those are the 3 films that they have in various stages of production right now, and all of them are basically on hold because they are figuring out, obviously, with included, when they can actually do pre-production, when they can film, what to film, where to spend the money. They'll figure out what's going to go forth. But those are the 3 projects we have on the table.
On the TV side, they have Picard, Lower Decks, Discovery. Strange New Worlds is the Pike show that's going to be starting, and there's also a rumored 7 of 9 spinoff, but I think that's still like 5 or 6 years away.
There we go. So obviously on the TV side they're succeeding, but the film side it's been rough. The first 2 were successful, the third one not so much. So just so we can kind of streamline the conversation a bit, I'll say which of those 3 projects interests you guys the most.
Definitely the Chris's. I elaborated on it a little bit before, but the Tarantino one just makes me curious. Did anybody in this panel, do any of you want to see a Vulcan's foot?
It's being written by and
it's not particularly. According to the rumor, it's not confirming if Tarantino would actually direct it. It is just a story by him or some sort of screenplay involvement by him. So the real question is, does From Dusk Till Dawn have a lot of feet in it? Because that's where we'd be knowing how much foot influence he would have on this.
I mean, there's the one part where she puts Selma Hayek puts her feet in Quentin Tarantino's mouth.
Well, that makes sense, actually. Okay, that was probably just a friend favorite.
Here's the thing, like, the writer for the Tarantino interests me a little because I like Overlord a lot. I like The Revenant. I thought was good, but not great. But Overlord, I thought the script was really good at that point.
Overlord was great.
Yeah. And for a movie like that, the script is probably being drawn. It's a little bit surprising for a movie like that. And the script kind of interests me. I know some of you have icky reaction to who helping it, but I think based on Dexter, based on Jessica Jones the first season, before the best season of Jessica Jones, and for her other projects, she got better at the hero, especially when it comes to John Lithgow's season on Dexter, with one of the most chilling season on any time show there is. The end of season 4 is the most disturbing ending to any TV show.
Yeah, the baby
Yeah.
in the blood.
Yeah. Rita in the bathroom, that all I would say for anybody who never seen that.
Heroes died a slow and painful death.
Yeah, well, I was.
Um,
Yeah, dude. Heroes season 4 is just like unforgivable.
but I love
but
Jessica Jones.
yeah,
Now,
Dexter and
to be
Jessica
fair, it
Jones
was only a
season 1
couple
are
of
fucking
episodes.
amazing.
It's not like the whole season,
Yeah.
but still.
It's still there's not a good episode in season 4.
All right, that's fair then. So for me, I would say the one that interests me the most would be, and we'll go ahead and bring someone in. I'll speak in just a second. We have somebody else from the regular crew joining us. Welcome in. What's up, Alan?
Alan!
What is up? Aloha, everyone.
Evan just had an interesting story about the Tarantino, saying that it's a 1930s movie set on Earth, and that there's some sort of like kind of like one of those episodes of Deep Space Nine where Cisco is in the past.
So Alan, let me catch you up. So what we've decided to run with since Maddie isn't with us tonight, and a couple of the regulars aren't here, is I basically just pulled up a bunch of movie news stories over the last couple of days, and we're kind of just talk about what we think about them.
Trek.
But what we're talking, because we started talking about the Star Trek show that just aired, we went immediately into this article that came out about the 3 different movies that Star Trek had in development that are currently on hold from Paramount. With one of them being that spec script. So I'll run them now for you real quickly. The first would be that rumored Star Trek 4 that had the 2 Chris's in it. The second would be a film. All they said was it focuses on a virus. They didn't give any more than that. But it would be written and directed by Noah Hawley. And then the third is the rumored Tarantino one, which is a story from Tarantino that's being worked on. The script itself is being worked on.
Based on the original series.
Based on an episode of the original series.
Okay, and the script is being worked on by Mark L. Smith, who is a co-writer on The Revenant and Overlord.
And then the one who directing, the one we were talking about with the quick final to.
I believe her name is S.J. Clarkson. She's a TV director mainly. Is who they have attached to direct the 4th Star Trek.
TV director, yeah.
She did Hero season 4, but she also did Dexter season 4 and 5, and Jessica Jones season 1, and a bunch of other good stuff. Exciting. Happy Hero, we all agree on that.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say before we were joined by the amazing Dr. Spaceman was to me the Star Trek with the 2 Chris's is one of those where it's like I can kind of take it or leave it at this point. I like the 3 movies. I do enjoy them. But until we get a concrete, like, this is what's happening, we know everyone's involved, then it doesn't interest me too much. And I don't know much about the director either, so I can't speak for that experience. The Tarantino one interests me because a story by Tarantino, co-written by the guy who worked on Overlord and The Revenant, is just a really intriguing set of films that you're working with, and it definitely feels outside of Star Trek. Honestly, the one that worries me is the Noah Hawley one. Now, I know that Noah Hawley has a great track record on TV. A lot of people really like Legion. A lot of people really like Fargo. I don't know if this was his directorial debut for film or not, but a movie that got shuffled under the rug last year was Lucy in the Sky, which was written and directed by Noah Hawley, and that was a pile of fucking crap. That movie was
Don't say you really feel.
It was
you
so
want to see how bad it is? It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max now, but it was supposed to get this huge wide release, and then as the trailer started coming out and the reviews started coming out, it just got lowered and lowered and lowered and lowered, and I think it was released in the end in like maybe a couple hundred theaters. Like, the studio just ate the bullet on this film, and that's how bad it was. Like, it's not good.
Yeah, but he also didn't he do that new show on the FS on Hulu, that Dave, whatever it's called, that Thinking Freaking?
Dave, like the Little Dicky show?
No, the show on that sci-fi that looked like Monster and Annihilation put together on FS.
I can look up and see if I can confirm.
They say it's by the same people who did Legion and Fargo. That's try to make sure not the same person, right?
Alan, are we in a cooking show now?
Yeah, you want to be? I got some ulu here.
Damn.
This is breadfruit I can show you how I prepare it. I'm going to prepare it for
That's
dinner
impressive.
tonight.
Okay, so
I know, I'm giving you a Google.
So just to talk about Chris, just to back up what you said. So
Yeah.
it may have been writers and producers who were from Legion. Noah Hawley is not involved in that show, and I was right. Lucy in the Sky was his directorial debut. So if Noah Hawley wants to write the film, then I'd be cool with that and let someone else direct it. But if he's also directing, I don't know if I want to see it, because Lucy in the Sky wasn't even that big of a budget film, and it did not work. So it does not interest me on that level.
Yeah,
but yeah,
definitely bad cast to have. Wow.
I don't want anybody directing, honestly, that doesn't have a background in sci-fi, to be honest with you, or in fluid moving films. It doesn't have to necessarily be action or sci-fi, but something fluid. I think, I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest Christopher Nolan fan, and I don't think he directs action very well. I know.
Not a bad criticism.
I'd agree.
I'm not
agree.
also,
The
I'm
hotel
not, I think
holiday
Ryan Coogler
sequence
is a terrible action director. I think
Wow.
Black Panther is the worst Marvel movie because of the
Third act
direction.
In terms
Yeah,
And
but
I-
like the Creed
I-
1-on-1, the Creed 1-on-1 shot sequence.
The Creed one-shot sequences are good. The
But-
first Creed is a good film. The second Creed is an all right film.
But boxing is very different than a big
Exactly,
bombastic
it's different than
action
action. It's different than action. I think
Avengers.
I love what's the one trains? What's the first Trainville? No, what's the
Trainspotting?
so no Fruitville Station.
Fruitville
Station.
yes.
So
I
good.
think that's a great movie and it's well directed. But it's not an action film. I don't think he does action very well.
I think
you
I
can have a
kind of.
I'd love to see
If you're
Jordan.
talking
in
about
Star
the, if you're talking about the Dark Knight trilogy, then yeah, Christopher Nolan not great action, but I think like the hallway fight scene in Inception, in the hotel.
It's very well done. It's clever.
That's more
but
it's more
it's
clever
more
than
visual
action.
side.
Yeah.
I don't- I don't
It's
think
more
that
it's
is
more
an
clever.
Even the
Action.
trailer for the trailer for Tenet, it looked pretty cool. Some of the action sequences.
Yeah.
But is it? But
But
like, is it? Because I don't know if you guys saw this. Because I don't know how wide it was playing. But when I went to see Rise of Skywalker, the first screening that I went to had like a 7-minute prologue to Tenet in it that featured an action sequence.
Yeah.
And what I will say is, it's
French
definitely
college, yeah.
cool. It's got cool visuals, and whatever they're doing with the playing with time and the doing the reversing or whatever, it looks really, really cool. But I wouldn't say the actual choreography of the action is what was the most impressive part of that scene. I think that's what Alan means.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Even
do you
Dunkirk, I don't think the action that bad in Dunkirk.
Like Dark Knight Rises has some really cool looking sequences, but every time you're getting a one-on-one fight, it's like this real thuddy, like,
It's
So like
and
Batman
it's like-
Begins, where they're in the League of Assassins, like where they're all there, and he's like cutting all of them and then hiding amongst them. You're right. He's more clever. Nolan's more clever of how he has the hero defeat the villain, the protagonist defeat the antagonist.
I don't
It's
think
not
like
about
he
action.
uses
It's about how
visuals. He uses visuals very well,
Yeah,
and
it's
he can
visual.
conceive a really creative scene. I think it's just literally the choreography of like when you look at like a Marvel film, like for instance, I'll go with Civil War. You look at the airport scene, and it's this big, cool, bombastic scene. But then you can go to the smaller fights, like the one at the end in Russia, and that's just all hand to hand, and that is an emotionally well choreographed, done scene. I don't think Nolan. I agree with Alan on that front. I don't think Nolan can do that type of stuff well, but I think he's really good with visuals and concepts and like that area of it.
And Star Trek's about visual action.
Like Dunkirk, not the greatest action sequences, but like the Tom Hardy stuff. I think the way he shot the Tom Hardy sequence were pretty cool.
It does show he could do like fighter pilot stuff. We don't get a lot of like fighter pilots.
Yeah, but there's no
like
fighting in Dunkirk though. There's no real fighting.
Yeah.
I think that's
I was gonna say, I think Nolan's really good at building tension. He's good at making things feel like high stakes, even if they're small stakes. Like, so he does that good, but the actual action that he is portraying can be a little wanting, especially in the Batman movies. So I get what you guys are saying, but I feel like Star Trek is more about building tension anyways, so I feel like he would be a good pick. But
I think they want
to me, Star Trek isn't about action. It's about like
It's not.
Exploration.
science and exploration. It's adventure. It's not action.
Yeah.
All right, then.
That was just my thoughts on that.
No, actually, I think you're really exactly right, Caleb, about him building tension well. What I would like to see with a Star Trek film is more investigation. So, who makes a good investigation film?
David Fincher. David Fincher.
Fincher would be awesome.
Yeah, that's shooting for the fucking star, man.
Yeah, right.
So going back to the
going
back to the 3 movies that were in question, though, I feel like I'm the most excited about the Kelvin timeline one, because we've seen some great tension out of that director in TV. I think some of the best and most interesting TV work. Jessica Jones season 1 was incredible, if you ask me, because it was like a style piece. She's got that experience in genre pictures, which I think she's pulled off really well. Or not pictures, but TV. So I think that, coupled with the idea of, I assume they'd be going back in time to have both Chris's in it. In the Kelvin timeline. That's super interesting. A point I was gonna, just kind of a joke about Anton Yelchin, is I wonder if they're gonna replace him with the guy who played Speed Racer.
Oh, like they did in the Guillermo show?
They didn't, yeah.
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 No.
And I will say, the only reason I say no is because I respect, obviously the answer is no, but I respect him coming into that, because I've seen it, Troll Hunters. I've seen all of that show. I just haven't seen the follow-ups. I appreciate the respect they have.
They also said they wouldn't recast.
Right. I appreciate the respect they have. When Anton died, that they cast someone who I believe was actually close to him. Like, they brought in someone who knew him to be that part of a replacement for the character. But you can kind of start to tell where the voice changes. Like, I don't think he sounds like him too much. And I think it would be, especially with trying to do accents and stuff, I think it would start to get real hairy. But I do think, unfortunately, I think the best option is to is it Chekhov, this character's name, right? Just write him out. Yeah, you'd have to just write him out. Yeah. Just stick him on a picture next to John Cho's husband and be like, yep, they're not here.
They're not here.
I tell you, I think the one thing that will piss me off if they don't bring back everybody out with Zachary Quinto or Joey Saldana or Simon Pegg. Like, I love Chris Pine. I love disappointing him more than him half the time.
It's an ensemble for sure.
Yes. They have to bring back everybody. I mean, it's a definitely ensemble that 3 movies, the one thing all 3 of them got right was the chemistry between those guys.
They better also bring back
the last one.
And I think the biggest thing that they have going against them now is the fact that, like, your 3 biggest stars are Chris Pine, who's been in more than one huge blockbuster now, Chris Hemsworth, who is Thor, and Zoe Saldana, who is now that, which this is actually, I don't know if this was a huge news story, but through re-releases, Avengers Infinity War has actually also passed $2 billion at the box office now.
Nice.
So Zoe Saldana is in 3 of the 6 $2 billion films.
Yeah, but I don't count the first one.
It's still, she can still say it.
Avatar.
Yeah, no. She can still say that. But no,
she can still claim it.
She was an Avatar. It's just such a fluke.
She was a co-lead in 2 of them, but the fluke makes it bigger though. She's in 3 of them. So if they have to renew contracts at this point, you're gonna have 3 power players. You're gonna have one hell of a pitch to make them discount their price. But I would say,
she's also been in DC movies, so she's crossed everything so far.
Yeah, she's been The Losers. The Losers was great.
Yeah, that's DC. I think one actress I want to bring back is Sophia, and I thought she was honestly one of the best new characters. They introduced Sophia Botella from Beyond. Like,
Sophia Patel is great. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to see more of her. She
Yeah.
played
Jayla's pretty good.
Jaina in the last movie.
Actually, she'd be a cool
Yeah.
replacement for
Chekhov, yeah.
The
They did like
character.
tease her going to the academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So she'd be a great replacement.
Well, the good
she
news
needs
is
more
if
budget. She's really
if
good.
budget's the
actor.
problem, the money tanked, so she'll be cheap
Yeah.
at least.
She'll be
Yeah.
cheap because the mummy
That's
was
true.
booyah.
And she is a
but yeah,
decent.
so
She's a good
Atomic
actress.
Blonde didn't do great.
oh yeah, she was an Atomic Blonde, wasn't she?
She was
Yeah.
so good. She
I
was
still
also
haven't
good in
seen
Kingsman.
Atomic Blonde. Is that worth
she
it?
kissed that lady.
It's good. I mean, if you like,
It's worth a watch.
if you really
Okay.
like John Wick, I don't think
But
you'll love
better
it as
than
much as
God.
I don't think you'll like it as much as John Wick, but it's in that same vein. It's
Stairway
very, it is
sequence
good.
is good.
It's
The staircase
an action
sequence is
movie
amazing.
made by-
That's what you
action
watch.
movie
Dave
made by-
McAvoy also really good. in
like
Atomic
it's
Blonde.
worth seeing just for the action.
Nice.
Like it's literally just an action movie made by stuntmen. Like the story's not super important, but the
Story's
action's
dope.
awesome and the acting's pretty good. So I mean it's
Yeah.
worth seeing.
McAvoy
I'll
is
check it out.
really good in the movie.
I've always wanted to. I just haven't got around to doing it. So I'll
And
definitely
she also
check
was
it out.
good in Kingsman, the first one. Even though it was a big role, she's good.
Oh,
at
she's
it.
the knife leg lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Kingsman, that's another movie that should have been
Kingsman.
released. They should have released in January, like they originally were going to.
1917.
They had to do post work on it. That's why they pushed
I
it.
mean, look
They had
at
to do post.
look at Bad
That-
Boys 3.
That
Came out
still has
January. That was
that
Boys
still has a
3
release date.
I'm so angry about the streaming thing for the Oscars. I don't think we've touched on this yet. I think it's such a cop out because Bad Boys 3 would be nominated for Best Picture if
Well, the
streaming.
It's a
The
really good
only-
movie compared to anything January lately.
But the problem is if they didn't make that adjustment, then okay, yes, and honestly, in my opinion, I think The Gentleman's better than Bad Boys. But either way,
Ooh.
if you have a
I like
best
both,
picture,
but-
if you have a best picture race that's like The Gentleman, Bad Boys, what else
Sonic.
came out that was good? Sonic the Hedgehog. Like that's gonna be the year
Ready
where
to play.
everyone goes, that was a joke. Like,
Hugh Grant was interesting in The Gentleman.
what happened?
But, that was interesting.
Hugh Grant probably would have
I
gotten
really liked
nomination
it.
for Best Supporting Actor.
I really liked it.
I forgot about it. Like until you said it, I forgot all about it.
Oh, I've seen it
But
like
I
3
liked
times. I think it's great.
Have we
I
talked
mean,
about the
it's
Mulan
Anyway,
thing?
is
No, we haven't gotten on Mulan yet. Yeah, that's a good.
But before we go on,
I keep trying to transition. I was going to say, if you guys want to move on, I have
I want-
a couple of different stories that relate to release dates. I was going to just jumble them all into one. So the first is Bill and Ted Face the Music has once again changed its release date. So originally it was set to come out on August 21st. And it was going to be a theatrical release. And then it got pushed to, I believe, September 4th. And that was going to be a day and date, premium VOD, and theatrical release where accepted. Now it is being pushed up again to August 28th, so 1 week earlier, and it'll still be day and date, premium VOD, and theatrical where accepted.
I still gotta watch the first two.
Can I touch
what?
this one?
So I was going to say, let me jump out the other two real quick, and then we can talk about the different ones. So the second one is, and this is a bit of a smaller film, but the Janelle Monae horror film Antebellum has been shifted.
Excited about that one.
So this movie was originally set to release in theaters, I believe actually on August 21st as well. But as of either yesterday or today, the film is going to be skipping a theatrical release fully and will be debuting on premium VOD on September 18th. So it has been pushed back a month, but it will be going straight to your TV screen and wherever you can rent.
That's a good move.
For those of you who don't know what Antebellum is a horror film that is being produced by Jordan Peele, and being directed by a duo who I think are making their directorial debut. And essentially, it is Janelle Monae plays a successful author who is essentially, it seems like she's like time kidnapped and sent back to slavery in the Antebellum South.
I saw the trailer.
Trailer.
And then we'll obviously bring up the big one, the big story, which is Mulan, which a couple of weeks ago had its release date of August 21st as well, pulled. And now that movie will be releasing on September 4th, so the same day as Tenet, except instead of being like Tenet and going to theaters, Mulan will be going straight to Disney Plus with a $30 surcharge. Now, there's been a lot of confusion over this over the last couple of days, so in order to kind of clear up what that means, there will be a $30 surcharge that you will have to pay alongside having access with it to Disney+. However, once you pay for it, it is an ownership fee. It is not a rental. So we've had other movies come out, King of Staten Island, Scoob, Trolls World Tour, that have all been $20 rentals, and they disappear in 48 hours. What this is you pay $30 for it, and that is their attempt to recoup the $200 million they've spent on the film.
Budget,
but once you have it, you will have it forever, as long as you have Disney Plus. It'll forever be in your Disney Plus catalog.
That is actually a very good distinction to make, because that way now I will actually pay the $30. I wasn't going to before, but knowing that, I think that's a way better deal.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and hop another member of the usual crew in, as we are being joined by people. Ladies and gentlemen, say what is up to Mr. Matt Beer.
Man.
Look, if I look off in the distance and whatnot, I'm watching this game because I might win myself like $350 today.
Hey, $350.
It's looking
We're
good.
either gonna be
Matt.
I missed shot 4,000 earlier. Wait,
Matt's
what?
either going to be drunk or crying by the end of this.
True.
All right, so Matt, I'll catch you up to the story that we're talking about right now. We've had 3 major release date shifts. Obviously, we'll start with the smaller 2. Bill and Ted is now set for an August 28th release. Premium VOD and theaters where accepted. The Jordan Peele-produced horror film Antebellum is being moved to September 18th and will be receiving a premium VOD release instead of a theatrical release. And Mulan, obviously, is being moved to September 4th. And what the distinction now with that is it's a $30 purchase within Disney Plus, but once you have purchased it, it'll be yours to own as long as you have a Disney Plus subscription.
Right.
So basically, again, we'll do the same as we did with the Star Trek. We'll kind of just go around, talk about whichever one interests you the most. So we can start with you, Matt, if you want.
I think the Mulan thing is absurd. Like, nobody super wanted this movie anyways, and it seems like they sucked the fun out of it, and now they're charging $30 for you to be able to see it. Like, that's that's a huge $30 gamble there. Like, you can
I really
watch,
hope that doesn't continue, Bruce. Let's not let that continue.
Yeah,
you can watch the original Mulan for the regular Disney Plus subscription. So why would you? Like, they haven't been doing great with these remakes.
Because it's going to be a different thing. It's going to be more of a war movie than
the best judge.
I was going to say, I'll go first on this real quick. I was going to say, here's the host.
It's another mother jumping in.
Hey.
Hold on. It's my show now, motherfucker. We're running this bitch tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So
we saw your comments.
We were talking about Mulan.
He was watching. He actually was watching.
Yeah.
So he knows what we're talking about.
The thing with Mulan is that it's not a show. They're not like really making a remake. They're more re-envisioning the story. They're taking the soundtrack and they're melding it into the actual score, and it's going to be more of a war movie than
So that's what I was going to say is
that kind of echoes what Caleb just said. They sucked all the fun out of it.
This
to me, that adds fun.
So here's my look to it. Mulan has actually been, so you're right. The Disney remakes have been entirely inconsistent. Maddie's having way too much fun. He's like catching up all the changes and shit.
You didn't have to cut me out.
But so the Disney remakes have been entirely inconsistent. But the one that I have liked the most, I like this angle. The one that I have liked the most to me was Jungle Book, which is the one that re-envisioned it the most. It was the one that wasn't the closest to the animated movie. And now they've done that for films that haven't worked. Alice in Wonderland wasn't great. Dumbo wasn't great. Don't let Tim Burton direct another movie.
Amen, brother.
I got this motherfucker in 4K, baby.
Dumbo is the worst looking crap I've ever seen. We actually started it on Disney Plus the other night, and me and my kids just said 5 minutes in, went, "This is trash. Nothing looked real. Everything looked terrible. It is
I wanted to
Orange.
see Mulan on a big
Alan.
screen. That's my biggest disappointment.
Alan, you did yourself a service by skipping it because it's become a sequel about like 20 minutes into it.
Right.
I like
I can't.
it.
Yes, I can't. Can't
Look,
do it.
I like it.
What I'm
Alright, so-
hoping
so-
Disney does, and they might do it because Disney likes that money. There are theaters still in the U.S. open. There's been theaters around me open for the longest time. They're gonna take Mulan in a heartbeat because they're an independent theater. So if Mulan is released in any of the theaters around me, I 100% will go see
Yeah,
it
same.
because I've heard really good things about it. They had their premiere in March and people have been
Yeah,
saying
so-
really good things.
So that's the thing
But-
that people are forgetting. So people have seen this movie. They had their official premiere and critic screenings did
Yeah.
happen. I believe it's kind of like with A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
When the movie had to go back in for a new release date, they kind of just uplifted a new embargo on it, and they said, "Look, I know you've seen the movie. Just wait till we can release for it to be talked about." But I know that there
Yeah.
were reviews out because I remember seeing A Quiet Place 2 had like an 80-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, but that was before all the reviews got redacted back, and now I think it doesn't have a score.
Right.
So
Which is disappointing, which right there is disappointing because I'm more honestly, out of all the movies that have been pushed, A Quiet Place 2 is the one for me. Because
so intriguing, yeah.
Yeah, Quiet Place 2
fact
might
that
be
they
fun,
opened
too.
That wasn't on Aaron's list.
I don't give a fuck.
I know, I'm kidding.
Goodbye. Maddie's back. Maddie's back, bitches. No,
Man, you kicked Devin out of life.
And he's gone.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So
Just like that,
Look
his
at that.
internet's gone again.
His internet's out again.
Your internet down for good.
Guys, my internet has been shit today. Like, I have literally spent the last
You killed Devin.
an hour and a half on hold with tech support.
What did they tell you?
Bye, Aaron.
All right.
Okay, bye, Alan.
Bye, guys. Good to see.
See you, Alan.
Basically, they told me they're gonna have to send somebody out here, deal with it.
Love that response.
But it
I
at
thought
least
maybe they told you to turn it off and then turn it back on again.
3 times.
Sometimes it works.
It
I'm
does,
like,
yeah.
okay, I'm going to school for, software development and design. I should know what I'm doing.
Electricals and yeah.
But they're like,
Yeah.
well, somebody will have to just come fix it. And I'm like,
So-
well, okay. And then I got disconnected with them, and I called back, and I was on hold for over a goddamn hour trying to get somebody to answer the phone. So I just went, fuck it. It's on right now. I will call back in the morning.
So
I was
out of
gonna
those ones you mentioned, Aaron, the Jordan Peele one's the one that I was most excited to hear
Yeah.
on this.
In the Jordan Peele one, I didn't
Yeah.
get to. I
Because
didn't get
that
to-
one
Okay.
doesn't need to be in it.
Antebellum or whatever.
So it is. It's
Antebellum,
Jordan Peele
yeah.
produced. And the movie's called Antebellum, and basically it stars Janelle Monae as a modern day successful artist. And I'm just kind of guessing off what the trailer said because the trailer is real cryptic, like his trailers are. But it seems like
I was about to say, what it,
Wait.
I was about to say,
I'm gonna talk
Wait.
for a moment. But
Did he is that one he directed or is just
it's
produced?
produced. So
Produced.
he is a
Okay.
but he's a I believe he's a heavily involved producer, kind of like with Candyman. He is
I have
involved
never
in
seen
it.
Candyman.
the original
Okay.
Candyman
Oh,
is a cult classic. You have to see that at least once.
I've seen it. It's
The
good.
original
It's
Candyman
good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's good.
Chris
Oh.
hasn't seen it.
Hello. Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Antebellum, basically, Janelle Monae plays a successful author who is essentially time kidnapped and sent
Yeah.
back to slavery in the Antebellum South,
Right.
and it's being played as it's being billed and played as a horror film. So
It looks
I don't
like an
know
expanded
anything
episode of
else.
The Twilight Zone.
Sounds
Yeah,
funny.
why it
Probably.
got took
Well,
it
well,
out
yeah,
and put it
wanted to
in.
make
Here's a hot take. I got CBS All Access for a month for free. Like, basically,
For you.
you sign up.
Everyone can do it.
Yeah, pretty much. You sign up for a month, and
There.
then you get this little promo code because Big Brother is starting and everything. Where instead of
Yeah.
a 7-day, they turn it into a 30-day free trial. So I watched his Twilight Zone that he wrote and directed most of. They're pretty fucking good. There's a couple that were hit and miss, but overall they're pretty good. And Jordan Peele hasn't really fumbled with me.
No.
I
Well, I hope not. That may be a crime.
love us
kind
until
of
like
a, hit or miss. Us was okay. It was good.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
it was good, but it wasn't
It wasn't Get
Get
Out.
out.
Get Out.
Right.
But it was still good, for the story they told was really good. And I like the way that they manipulated everything where she was actually one of them and, they switched places to begin with. I like that. So
Sorry. You go.
I trust Jordan Peele that he's going to do something interesting. But are we going to get another Get Out or are we going to get Us?
I think something in between. I think this is going to be more on the line of Get Out.
I think so because it's dealing with race.
He also pull out amazing performance from Michelle. What's the actress name? I'm forgetting all this.
Janelle Monae.
Now Monae, like he did with Peter Donago and Us.
Remember, it is not him directing. It is a directing duo who I believe are making their debut directing film. But that's not always a bad thing with horror. It seems like horror has a very much odds-on success with that. But I believe he was like a heavily involved producer in terms of helping them get the film.
He's who got this movie
made. Hereditary.
Well, look at
I feel like
him and the directors of Repo the Genetic Opera. I cannot think of the guy's name off my head. They came together. What was it? Repo the Genetic Opera.
I'll look it up for you. Go ahead.
2018.
It's the Saw guy.
Yeah,
Darren Lynn Bousman.
There you go. The two of them came together, and that's how Saw got developed. The two of them, and look at Saw. That changed the fucking game. Like, without that, we wouldn't have gore porn. Like, let's get real.
Without that, we would have Lee Vanell, and
without that, we wouldn't have had James Wan.
Like, look at y'all know me. I'm a resident gore porn guy. We all know that.
I don't like gore porn.
We all know I get my rocks off with shit like that.
There was some gore porn on Twilight Zone though that I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like the what they did, but what I'm saying is, like, with stuff like that with horror, you don't need a massive budget.
No.
If you tell a good story. Like,
this looks more psychological though. This looks more like
but what I'm getting at is you look at The Conjuring and Saw and even Hostel. Those movies were made for less than $25 million, and
those seem a lot less civilized than this movie.
Even this year with Invisible Man, it only cost $8 million to make, and from some films,
that's a better.
I just went back and did a rewatch of Invisible Man recently. It is
very good,
fantastic. Like, and you can take horror and manipulate it for the times. Look at Invisible Man; he had a suit on.
That's good.
And it's the same technology that they use on stealth bombers.
Because that's my problem with Hostel. Hostel's not really thought-provoking. At least not for me.
Okay. Can I ask you?
I agree with Hostel. Hostel were a bad movie.
How is that? How is that? Because there are rich people out there with hundreds of millions of dollars that go out look for the next big thrill. Look at Ready or Not. Yes, I know they made a deal with the devil. They have to kill. Or they.
I was gonna say.
I like Dark Web.
I don't know if the thought. I don't know if the thought.
That shit's real.
I was gonna say, I don't know if the thought-provoking version of like attempted torture porn is something that necessarily worked, because I think The Hunt was trying to be something like that, and that movie didn't work all over.
Yeah.
So
I still
this one good performance.
Kind of Purge tried it. The Purge tried it. I know it's not super gory. The second one was pretty graphic, but it wasn't like super graphic.
Jordan Peele makes good allegories. And Hostel isn't really an allegory. Hostel's more, this could be happening.
Right, so here's my thought.
Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, kind of like what?
Yeah. I feel like if you've got that like a real life story with one strange thing that makes it different, like time travel or something, is what Jordan Peele excels at. And like, if he put his stamp of approval, I 100% agree. Like, I'm on board for it without question, because he put his stamp of approval on it.
Exactly. Just like with me, if I see something horror related from James Wan, I know
Yeah.
it's at least going to be entertaining as hell. You know, La Llorona, all those movies, I have fun with those. I like those Conjuring movies.
I even like. I know that not a lot of people like found footage. I'm okay with some found footage movies. There are like three that I love: Chronicle, Wick, and Creep 1 and Ralph Ford. Creep 1 and Creep 2 I do love a lot.
I think found footage works if you have something to make it work. I think the problem with found footage is it became very oversaturated, where you had an incredible concept with like Paranormal Activity that got worn out over 5 sequels. And I think wasn't the last one's gimmick like a 3D film? Like, fuck, you like ran out of shit with that franchise.
I mean, go watch.
Jordan Peele doesn't do gimmicks.
You want a good found footage? Go watch Wick. They're like Japanese found footage movies, but it's scary as hell for something that.
A good found footage movie, in my opinion, was the original Cloverfield.
Wait.
Yes. Chronicle is also a good found footage film.
You're talking about REC? That was a Spanish movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Spanish.
Oh, Wreck,
yeah. It's such a good found footage movie. I remember watching in college and Danny.
Yeah, it's great.
She had to live in shit. Also, Creep 1 and Creep 2 are really good found footage movie on Netflix.
Blair Witch was, you know, it was I think Blair Witch would have gotten more appeal if it had come out a couple of years before it did.
Blair, you're talking about like the Adam Wingard one, right?
Yeah, the first one.
The original, the 2000.
I thought it did pretty well for when it came out.
You're talking about Blair, the original, because there's Blair Witch Project and then Blair Witch was the Wingard one.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the original. Okay.
Take the 3. There you go. That's a foul.
I think.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself.
Trying to make a video game now,
I'm gonna mute myself.
Like it wouldn't have done as well. I feel
just
like Blair Witch wouldn't have done as well. Like in a time that like was I feel like it came out in the perfect time, like where you could start that rumor that it was a real movie and like I don't know, like it was
because it was just when portable cameras started becoming like regular accessories.
But I think with technology nowadays, it could look better. That's all I was getting at. Is like the current technology could made it, because unfortunately the problem I have is the shaky cam is so sporadic.
What about the snot bubbles?
Like actually,
another good one, and I surprised nobody brought it up. Yeah, on computer, searching with John Cho.
John Cho, yes.
I still like the Unfriended movies. I really enjoy
the first one's fine. It wasn't terrible.
Dark Web, I really like Dark Web because of the fact that stuff like that supposedly actually happens. So I like the fact that you actually you got into somebody's computer and got into shit you shouldn't have. And that's what I like about it. And the fact that, I
never saw it.
If you go over to what was Extreme Screams, Taryn did a dark web video about Red Rooms. Watch that and then watch Unfriended 2. It'll make it so much better.
Okay.
So when it comes to Jordan Peele, I just think Jordan Peele makes things on. So he said this about the movies that he makes. He had that famous quote saying that he doesn't want to make movies about white people because he's seen all those movies before. All of his movies have like a very specific thought out message that like he has a vision, and he's like, so if he like saw this movie and wanted to make a movie out of it, like I really do. Don't know this for sure, but this looks like it could be an episode of The Twilight Zone that was just like a 40-minute thing that he's expanded upon. It was an allegory.
Yeah, I actually think that and I think it's a good quote, and I think it definitely exemplifies like what he's going for in his films in terms of like promoting different sides of stories. But actually, to me, something like that is what my biggest problem with Us was. Not that it was led by black people. Don't get me wrong on that, but the fact that like, so Get Out, and it seems like Antebellum is very similar. are very race-driven stories that have seemingly, especially with Get Out, a very deep message. My biggest problem with Us is if we're just talking a straight horror film where this is a family, tethered exists, this family's getting hunted down by the tethered. I think it works brilliantly in that sense. To me, where it gets hurt is that it's a movie that somehow kind of thinks it's deeper than it really is.
Yeah.
And it's kind of trying to pitch itself like it's this big allegorical thing. And I don't think it has the message to actually back it.
His goal isn't to scare people. His goal is to make people think with his
To
movie.
teach lessons. Whereas to me, I think Us is a scarier film than it is a more thought-provoking film.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of like psychological twists that Us has.
Yes.
But
the biggest one being Red, right? That's her name, Red?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree, though. Like, the whole... It's more... If they hadn't tried to make it so meta, I think it would have been... even if they cut that whole scene out, I know this is going to be very unpopular. The whole scene where the little girl goes underground and then they start learning about all this.
At the start or at the end? Towards the end, you mean?
Towards the end.
Okay, yeah.
If they had cut that whole part out, it would have cut maybe 15 minutes out of the movie, and it wouldn't have changed anything. In my opinion, it would have fallen more into a horror category than the psychological. And it would have, in my opinion, would have been a better movie.
Because it would have kept
you're a big horror fan, obviously.
I am. Yes.
See, I see that's the difference that there is, because like, and that's what's great about Jordan Peele is because he can get people from both sides of the table. You can get the people who want the horror movies, and then he wants the people like me who want like an allegory. Like that's what I like about Star Trek. The best Star Trek episodes are allegories. The best Twilight Zone episodes are allegories. Best Jordan Peele stuff is the allegories.
I love about quick second and shout out Bruce Boyd in the chat. This brother has been on every show we've done in the last week and a half. It doesn't matter what we're doing. He goes live and has been in the chat the whole time. He will be playing with us Movie Mania next Sunday. He reached out to me. Like I said, if you want to play, reach out to me. But yeah, I definitely want to give him a little props for just hanging out. So,
and I.
Yeah,
okay. I love. Okay.
So,
Chris, getting back to the subject.
Hey, Chris. This is what I gotta say. Get out.
I saw that. Not yet.
Not yet. He says.
No,
what do you got?
That's what I love about film like Ready or Not. It kind of allegory a little bit of like rich people versus the way they view other people below them.
I like the title.
Yeah.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
Decide. I really liked Ready or Not.
It's really good.
Yeah.
My friend, you saw Kat. You saw Contrarian Kat in the chat, and a couple others last night. Their little group, their true horror group, did a Facebook watch party of it, and I hooked my computer up to the TV today and ran it through it, and it was really good. Like I liked the whole. It had a cabin in the woods feel, like the way it ended.
Love.
I got it. Hold on, gotta put this up. Spoilers.
Right. It's been over a year, I think. Now we're good.
Well,
do we want to play how great the ending is? Like...
Hey, y'all, give me 2 minutes. The kid just got home. He's been gone all day. Let me get him taken care of, and I'll jump it right back.
Yeah.
Meow, 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 meow.
Do you want us to talk about Ready or Not? Or do you want to save it for you to come back?
Yeah, go ahead. I can catch up when I'm done.
Okay. So basically, where he was going with the Ready or Not, and this is the spoilers, to do with the ending of the film, which is
brilliant.
If you've seen Kingsman, think gorier. Because it's kind of the same thing. Essentially, the movie ends with this deal with the devil that this family have made not being fulfilled, and it's essentially like 3 or 4 minutes of just this tension-filled of like, oh, it's not happening. He's not coming after us. It's not happening. And then someone's fucking head just explodes. Yeah. And then it's the next few minutes of just this family going crazy, thinking they can do something to escape having their head blown off.
No, I think it's different interpretation. I think
it was their whole bodies. Everything blew up.
Oh well, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
the grandmother instigated the blowing up because she still went on trying to kill her despite the game was over. That what instigated the deal now, you know.
Doing the fucking overtime.
Because I think if they didn't try to kill, they might have got away with being alive. It's just that they tried to instigate it again despite
maybe.
You know, yeah.
So, was there any other big news, Aaron, this week?
I was gonna say we can keep.
I was going to talk about the
There's own
care about Bill and
I was
Ted,
going to talk about the Bill and Ted because I
Oh,
just saw
yeah,
the
the
first
Bill
one.
and Ted thing.
Yeah,
I
go
just
ahead
saw
if you guys
the-
want to touch on that.
I
just
haven't
saw
seen the first.
There's something else.
I just talked. I just saw the first one for the first time this week. I love the first one.
Oh my
It's
god.
stupid funny. Yeah. And so I'm
That's
looking
the
forward to
perfect way to
seeing.
describe it.
Yeah.
What do you
I'm
got,
looking-
Tater?
There's another news story too.
No,
Oh,
I
we
was
got
just saying
this.
that's the perfect.
We got two big news stories tipping up that I just
Yeah.
noticed today.
Well, one is a judge ruled that movie studios can now own their own movie theaters, which is pretty big, which could
Interesting.
knock out a lot of the privately owned theaters because they can now
Yeah.
sell their tickets at a lower price or a little more than what they would have gotten originally. So say it's an $8 ticket. Let's say they get $5.50 out of it. If it's $8 tickets, they could sell for like $6, $7, and then people are going to go to that theater more often if there's like a Disney movie coming out or a Warner Brothers movie.
I don't
or
even know
whatever.
if that's good or bad for me where I live.
I mean, you live close to like Boston area though, so I mean,
Well, it's not that close. Like
Right.
our AMC is like
I feel like it's not great.
20 minutes away.
right.
So I want to.
You'll have them, but it's not good for the privately owned theaters, especially. Like they're either going to have to sell or they're going to have to.
And Peter,
like,
nobody
really
goes
pay
to the movie theater in Boston. They go one of the towns outside of Boston to go to the movie theater.
Well, you know what? It's a Boston area. I'm not
But
from Mass.
It's also
I'm just playing with you, bro.
it's also bad for like independent film and stuff like that, like because one assumes like the bigger studios are going to be releasing all of their movies in their specific theaters,
Right.
so then like
I'm not spoiling.
the viewing of smaller movies is going to be like way diminished. I feel like that's like
Yeah.
that's
And
pretty
I got the
devastating.
Mavs, Bruce. I picked the Mavs. There's more money to be earned out of it.
So
I've got the Tigers.
But no, the only way I could see like small independent movies getting into those theaters is if they're bought by like Netflix, because Netflix will have their movie theaters.
Well,
Or Hulu.
the question
Yeah.
if companies can independently own their theaters, then the question becomes like what national theater chain survives. Like for example, AMC is the biggest of the national theater chains. So if anyone is in prime position to survive, it would be AMC. AMC
Yeah.
is an active
That's why I'm not too worried.
But
AMC has an active indie program that
Also,
shows
AMC's gone under like twice already.
They're barely making it out of this whole thing.
See, my thing with that is I don't put too much stake into those because every movie theater is in that position. It's just AMC is the one that's being reported on because they're the biggest. Like
But the corporations like Disney and Netflix are still making money while the movie theaters are going out of business. So this is fishy, man.
But the thing is, like I work for a movie theater company that opened way too soon. Like we opened in early June, or late June, because they were expecting movies to start coming out in July, and we have continued to stay open, if not simply because I think it would cost them more money just to close us down again until something comes out.
We're closed
the
until
theaters the theaters around me have been doing really well. Like if people are going to see classic movies like Jurassic Park, like filled up as much as they can let people in.
See, we're not playing
There's some in
movies
New
like
Hampshire
that.
showing Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Here, I
Like
can.
they're playing like Trolls and like the
Some
Relic.
theaters
And,
showing like Palm Train were being shown at drive-in.
right.
So Monday, it says
That'd be
movie.
cool.
No, well, fuck that. Never mind. It said Monday, but that was July 2nd.
So I do have one.
What were you looking
Well-
for, Nikki, on Monday?
I was trying to see when movie theaters around me open back up. Like I know, like
Right.
there's one in.
So
New
I
Hampshire.
don't. I was gonna say I don't believe this is confirmed. But I do believe AMC is planning on opening around August 21st, if only because like a month over a
I
month
don't think
ago.
the state still allows it though.
Well,
That's what it is here.
over a month ago, AMC uploaded pre-sales for a bunch of older movies they're going to be showing, and that date got delayed to August 21st. So I believe in that when they plan on opening. If your state's going to block that, then that's a different thing.
Yeah, because Regal
And-
plans on opening up the theaters they can on August 21st
Yeah,
as well.
I know like
They're-
a lot of theaters that we open up with
And Cinemark's already started opening.
Yeah, like I don't know, but
yeah,
hey,
we
Matt,
got. Oh wait, we got
Matt
new.
changed.
We got
Phil,
new
what do you
Legion
think?
coming out in
Go back to
August.
Oh, he's gone.
He's screwing with people. Is he screwing with you guys?
No,
No, I was
it's
saying Matt changed a lot. It's like, whoa.
It was
we
like
got-
in Endgame when Ant-Man turned into Brightburn.
Well,
What
let's
Benjamin
see.
Button on us.
Let's see, push it back. We got
I
new
already said
Legion
that.
coming out.
I already
He already
said
got
Matt.
there.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
said Matt.
hear you.
We're up by 6
My money's
right
on
now.
the Raptors.
3:18 left.
My Suns are gonna make a run. Fuck you guys.
Suns are looking good. They
5-0 since they hit the bubble.
Hey guys, I wanted to
have
share.
to play in.
I wanted to share.
I think they're gonna do it.
Well, if what they've said was if once the 8 games end and whatnot that they do for all the teams that made the bubble, if a team is within 4 games of the 8th spot, then number 9 will play against number 8 in one game, I believe, and then whoever wins will make it and play
And
the Lakers.
As of yesterday, we're a half game out.
Yeah, so
Really, you are you personally? I didn't know you played.
Did the Lakers lose tonight?
yes, but I mean they clinched, so they're going to be
They
number 1 no
scored
matter what.
score.
They clinched
Lakers
because they had diarrhea earlier that day.
Like if it's probably gonna be Portland and Phoenix, maybe Memphis, but if Portland makes it, I think Portland's knocking the Lakers out. Wait, what, Nikki?
I said they clinched because they had diarrhea earlier that day.
That's what you said.
I was making a bunch of jokes. Look up Chan-Ho Park diarrhea. It's something that not a lot of people know about.
No.
What have you seen that?
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I'll be completely
He played
honest.
against the Red Sox. Mariano Rivera's in the background laughing. It's pretty cool.
So I
Look,
wanted
I'll be
to.
honest.
Is this how you guys always feel when Nikki talks about Star Trek? Because I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
I don't know
I
what's going
want-
on with them either.
I wanted to
Lakers-
They're
bring
talking
up.
about basketball.
The Lakers
I'm-
screwed me out of $1,300. I want them to get swept in the first
You
round.
screwed yourself out of $1,300.
$10.
The Sharks are coming for you, young man.
$10. And they started to come back, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna win $1,300 on a $10 bet." And then they decide, "Oh, let's not make anything at all." And then I could have had 1,300, but I lost the money, even though I was credited that money for FanDuel.
You don't have the power to telepathically tear the ACL of a sports star. I do.
Matt,
What?
gambling is wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Hey, blame
It's not
FanDuel.
risky, it's not wrong.
FanDuel gave me $10. FanDuel gave me $10. They gave everybody $10. Like, hey, basketball's back. Here's $10. Bet on whatever. I turned that $10 into $115 and soon to be $350 today. So until I'm out of that money, I'm going to continue.
Who do you keep looking at? Is that your bookie?
There you go.
No, it's the TV.
So I wanted to.
It's Rocky with a baseball bat right behind him.
So
What did you want to do?
So this news came out today, and I thought it was a bit interesting, mostly because I think I put the link in the chat, but mostly because the top of the image alone got my interest. That night I released a new image Steppenwolf from Justice League. It is Snyder Cut.
Oh,
When you look
here,
at
I'll pull
the,
it up.
if you look at the the number on top, that's the most interesting aspect of it. I waited to the image up below, but this caught my interest because a lot of people were talking about it online.
I mean, not that I want to talk about Justice League again, but damn, man, cutting off my stories.
Yeah, I really liked what Aaron was doing there.
No. It was one of the stories in it. I'm just playing with them. It was down the line, but it was.
Oh no, I thought you had another news story coming up.
Oh, I have I pulled up a couple different articles I can go to, but it was one of them that was in there. I'm just messing with them.
Up next,
Here, you want to pull up the image? I mean, it was a low res photo he shared, but
yeah, but he said when you look at the number, it's 1 hour and 1 minute into the film, so whole hour missing from the film.
That's what he lost.
Steppenwolf show up on there 20 minutes into Justice League, so we got an hour stuff missing for the film that he had.
Well, it's not missing; it's a different film completely. Yeah. He said he wasn't going to use any of Joss Whedon's films, so like an hour of what you saw in that other Justice League shithouse. But like we've only seen an hour, so technically it's 2.5 hours that are missing.
Steppenwolf doesn't show up on Earth until like 1 hour into the new cut intro.
Yeah.
Also, totally unrelated, but he only showed up 20 minutes in because fuck, that was a long 20 minutes.
God,
that was a long 20 minutes.
And don't forget about the Serbian family. I mean, everybody cares about them.
No. Listen, I remember the first time that I've seen Justice League twice, and that's only because I wanted to give it its fair due at least. The first time I watched it, I was so bored after the first half hour, and me and a buddy of mine had to be at work later, and I literally said, can we just skip a half hour of this and see where we end up? And so we just fast forwarded and saw what happened.
That makes me curious to think if they bring Superman back before Steppenwolf even gets there.
You think they'll bring him back in the first hour of a 4-hour film?
3.5 hours, maybe.
I'm not. That wasn't meant to be a joke. I'm actually asking you. You think they'll have him back that early?
I guess I didn't really think about it.
I'm sorry. Now I'm a prick.
No, maybe. I don't know. I hope so. I love Superman.
Yeah. I will say the movie wasn't good, but the first credit scene that happened with Superman the Flash, that did feel like it was right out of the comics. That I was like, okay, I like that.
That felt like it was out of a porta potty. That felt like they shot that in 2 minutes on a trailer park. Like I hated that scene.
They probably did.
That was a horrible.
Yeah, but that felt like it was right out of the comics. I liked
the writing in that scene, the acting in that scene. That for me, that scene. That got a boo from me because it's just so. Look at us.
Art theater
excited for Ezra Miller's audition.
All of us cheered. Everybody did.
I didn't. I
said,
booed.
Wow, that was wonderful. Much better than what Zack Snyder has ever brought us. It's like,
I want to see emo Superman.
That scene alone made the best
Zack Snyder movie not that
of all
bad.
time.
I love Zack Snyder.
The zombies are going to be in Zack Snyder's new Netflix film.
I know.
Right. Or just go back to his first film.
Hey,
the
Matt.
remake of Dawn of the Dead was great.
Look at the screen, asshole.
I know.
Also, I know that we get
3.5 hours. That's a lot of Batman.
Okay.
If it's a good performance.
I just don't care. Like that's
that mid-credit scene was great.
Like
I also like the second mid-credit scene too.
Talk of Zack Snyder. He's an okay movie maker. Like, why do we care so much?
Zack Snyder.
More like
because it's gonna be better than the
and heck, I like Man of Steel. So.
It's his vision of the movie that's untainted by this corporate overlord bullshit. But like, it's untainted by the Christmas bonuses. It's untainted by the 2-hour mandate. Like, that's what it is. It's not about Zack Snyder. It's about a filmmaker getting to finish his movie when he was fired, and then they used his dead daughter as an excuse as to why he wasn't on the project anymore. It's doing the right thing. It is nothing.
Was he fired or did he leave?
I don't think it's going to be a masterpiece, but it's going to be better than we had.
Yeah, I mean, look at
what if it is?
That Snyder had done.
Like, what if it's not better than what we got? What are people going to do?
It's not a possibility. There's no Serbian.
The director's cut of Sucker Punch.
I want to fight that Serbian.
What-
Sucker Punch.
Forget about Sucker Punch.
What
I
if
want to sucker punch the Serbian.
what if
God,
that
Sucker
kind
Punch
of
is bad.
Justice League
Director cut and much
is
better than
like
Watchmen original.
one of the worst movies ever made? What are you going to
Okay,
do?
gentlemen, we need one person speaking at a time.
I agree. That person is me. So Sucker Punch, didn't see it.
That movie sucks.
That movie sucks.
Yeah,
Well, like, guess what
all
the
a dream.
extended
Who got
version
it?
did? Made it worse. Like
When you
Batman
look-
versus Superman, the extended cut like didn't really matter.
fine.
It was still not a great movie.
Yeah.
Like it
Give it
made
some
some
good
things
stuff,
a
Dave.
I
little
like
bit
it the
better,
first
but
time
it's still a bad movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
my
Watchmen,
it's still
So-
crammed too much in.
Yeah.
That was the
Watchmen
Iron Man
still
2 of
were-
the DC
Yeah.
EU.
it was.
Watchmen did a good job with the director cut, adding stuff that we still love comedy out in, and it made sense.
See here, and this is my my issue with just in general with director's cuts. Like, I'm totally
Watchmen
open to
was
a
good
director's
movie
cut.
already.
I'm totally open to a
Yeah, I
director's
don't-
cut being better than like the original. But I'll be totally open. I haven't seen the BVS director's cut. I saw the original version twice. I wasn't a fan. I have no incentive to go see the director's cut.
I don't
But
think there's
one of my
anything in
things
the
is-
director's cut that's going to make you a fan.
Exactly,
Like, and I
and
say
that's
that
my
as a
thing.
fan of
But
both cuts.
But it's like, to me, it's like when I heard people like trying to preach it to me and they're like, it makes it so much better. Watch it, give it another chance. And I'm like, well, how long is it? Well, it's 3.5 hours. I was like, well, the original was 2.5 hours. They said, so you're telling me that they had a whole, and this isn't to speak on Zack Snyder personally. This is just them as a studio making unit. You had over a year to put together a film and you couldn't get it right the first time. And you need a whole re-edit and an extra hour of footage to make this thing better. That's a fucking failure.
With Justice League, we're getting a new movie. That's why people are excited.
look
It's a
at,
new
I
movie
don't
to read.
look at this in the same light as I look at that. In this, I understand the situation. That
Yeah.
was just like it was like what the like people are going with. Oh, do the air cut. Do the air cut. I'm sorry, the air cut's going to be just the same as the extended cut. There wasn't that issue there,
You're gonna get like 10 or 15 minutes, like a subplot
Joker.
with the Joker,
which they already did. They already did that, didn't they? On the
Well, the
DVD?
Joker was.
No, they
we
are
still
some
haven't
stuff
seen when the
that-
Joker shows up with a grenade. Like that's something we still haven't seen yet.
So
Ass.
But I only point to, like, I'm not the biggest fan of director cut for a film like Kingdom of Heaven. Watchmen is a good example of director cut improve on the film a lot. Like,
Right, and I would agree, and I would agree with you
I like
on
the
that.
first
but
director's cut.
I would agree with you on that, but my problem again with that is, to me, that speaks with an issue either with the studio or the director. The fact that it took an entire new recut of your film to even just get people to like it, no matter what the degree of liking it is, that's a fucking failure on my front. And I would say that to anyone. Like, and really, Scott's had that happen a couple of times. Like, 5 cuts of Blade Runner is different. That's just nitty picky gritty shit. But the fact that
I was
like
gonna say, but I was just gonna bring that up.
Watchmen
though.
has 3.
which one? What'd you say?
Watchmen have 3 directors.
Maddie, what were you saying?
Oh, hold on. I'm fighting with YouTube. What I was gonna say is you could say the same thing with Blade Runner, though. You know, we've gotten multiple cuts of it, and it doesn't really seem to be, you know,
Still
it's
not a good
almost
movie.
And I don't like any of those cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
Still not good. Still
So I was
boring.
gonna say before Nikki
Hot take.
shuts down the internet with that take,
Yeah.
or the small portion who've seen Blade Runner by box office numbers.
Whoa!
So
Not good.
Maddie, did you have anything that you wanted to do, or do you want me to just keep going reading off the stories I pulled up?
just go for it, brother. This is all you. I'm a guest tonight.
All right, so,
guys, real quick.
here's. Go ahead.
Really quick.
No, fuck off, Matt.
Here comes the money.
Here comes the money. Well, we're gonna get sued.
$.
Devin hates that music.
Well, we're gonna get sued.
No.
Fine.
That was under 8 seconds.
Imagine
Really?
after everything we've done, that's what gets us in legal trouble.
Right.
I mean, I thought
You're not
that
wrong.
Blade Runner is boring, John.
No.
Oh. I was gonna say if you're because I'm watching the top corner of my screen as you're renaming the episode. I was gonna say just name it. Maddie shows up at 52, whatever.
Well, no, it's not letting me change it. Like YouTube's having an issue and it's not letting me change it. So.
Okay. I'm just seeing it adjust in the top corner. That's why.
Yeah, I know, but it keeps telling me like it's having trouble. So what the hell?
Okay. Well, so here we go. So we talked about the Antebellum story, and that release date change was revealed. Oh, do we have? Oh, that's just okay. So that story was revealed in a call that was done. That was done by the CEO of Lionsgate. So that wasn't like a stock call, whatever you'd call that. So there were a couple other interesting stories that came out of that. I'll bring both up, and you guys can kind of talk about whatever's more interesting. The first is not only was it confirmed that we are getting a John Wick 5 no matter what, we are. Hashtag lawsuit, absolutely. So not only are we getting a John Wick 5 no matter what, but once Keanu has finished filming Matrix 4, they are going to be filming Matrix 4 John Wick 4 and 5 back-to-back, a la Mission Impossible doing 7 and 8 back-to-back very recently. So that's one of the two stories. The other story, which I just thought was really weirdly interesting, is... part of that is a new sequel to the 80s classic Dirty Dancing is in production. Now, this would be the second sequel, as in 2004 there was a really shitty movie called Havana Nights, which wasn't technically a sequel.
I actually enjoyed Havana Nights.
The TV version.
Okay. Oh yeah, so all we know about it so far is that apparently this new sequel to Dirty Dancing is going to be set within the 90s. And what we also know is that the film is going to be produced by producing partners Gillian Borher and the name that means more to people, Jonathan Levine, who is the director who behind films like 50-50, Long Shot, The Night Before. The script is going to be written by writing partners Mickey Daughtry and Tobias Ikonis, who wrote the 2019 film 5 Feet Apart and the Conjuring universe film Curse of La Llorona. So those are so the name to me that interests me most is Levine. It is not known as of yet if Levine will also direct the film or if he is just on board as a producer, but a separate director was not named. So go ahead. We have John Wick 5 and Dirty Dancing 3 technically. What interests you guys more? What just happened?
That's what I think of Dirty Dancing 3.
You also didn't bring up the fact that Jennifer Gray is attached to at least appear. I do want to add.
Yes, that was the other thing. You're right. She's executive producing and at least attached to a cameo role, if not bigger. You are correct. It just wasn't right where I was reading from, but you're correct about that. Yeah.
That sounds awful.
I don't really care.
Also, if it isn't obvious, Patrick Swayze will not be appearing.
What the?
You don't know, they can
Really?
CGI him.
Can't they do the James Dean thing?
God, no! Please don't. God, I don't even like the idea of the James Dean thing. So let's just not do that to anyone.
Okay.
Go ahead, Matt.
They won't let me do it, Matt.
Oh well.
Yeah, won't let me do it either.
We're trying to edit the description, but we can.
We'll do it after.
Yeah, we'll do it after.
Yeah.
Anyways, one, I don't care if they make another Dirty Dancing. It'll just go right up there with Step Up, like 24,000. Step Up 3 is actually, in my opinion, really good.
I've heard that's not bad actually.
Yeah, I agree.
It's Step Up 3, basically. You know how the first two follow one person? Like the first one follows Channing Tatum. The second one follows the little girl that was in the adoption house with him. The third one the only tie it has to the original two is Moose. You know, little skinny kid, long, goofy looking hair.
Why are we talking about dance movies?
Let him go.
And it follows him and his little girlfriend going to college in NYU. What I like about it is the fact that it actually follows this entire group of nomadic people who come together for the love of dance. They have a studio, like a dance studio downstairs where people
Save
come.
the rec center.
People come and party and shit. If they go that route, where she makes a minor cameo, but it's not centered around them like the first two, like the first one, and then you could say that Patrick Swayze played the same character just in a different part of the world. If they keep it modern day and have different people and maybe make her make a cameo, like, dance by whatever, they could do something interesting and retell the original story.
That reminded me of West Side Story, what you just described with 3.
It kind of is. It does.
Yeah. Is there any news on that? Because Spielberg was supposed to release that this year.
I can look and we can talk about it briefly, but you can keep going with what you're talking about.
Isn't that a dance movie? I was just trying to.
It's not a musical, so there is dancing in there.
Musical. It's more musical.
America.
But what I was getting at is they could kind of reboot Dirty Dancing for a modern, and they could tell it in a modern era. I know that sounds really weird.
But
and callbacks to the first one. Maybe where Baby went after. Maybe this is like her granddaughter or great granddaughter, and
Who
she
is in the corner.
Of course.
But it's
no one
been
in
said already that
Well, Patrick Swayze's not here to take her out of the corner.
So, like, I feel like it's just going to be a serious version of that, like, Matt Besser movie, Freak Dance, where it's just going to be all about, like, freak dancing. Like,
it's all like
this may be an alternative, but if Swayze's going to be in anything, I would think it would be a Ghost sequel.
It's electric.
Yeah.
It's Electric Boogaloo 2. Let's be real.
Yeah. Here's the thing, you had me at John Levine because I love 50-50.
50-50 is fantastic.
I love
50-50 alone. He got a really great. Did anyone else here see Long Shot?
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I
like
like
it a lot.
I like The Night Before as well.
Night Before is really good.
It's hysterical. Like it the night before.
Michael Shannon.
it's okay.
Yeah,
Michael Shannon. Yeah.
But
I like the fact that they took the kind of hangover-esque movie,
Yes.
but they put a holiday spin on it, and they give it like this like Pineapple Express sort of style movie, for lack of better terms. I love Night Before. I just rewatched that.
Honestly, that movie, before I even knew like Levine was directing it or I really looked into it, that movie had me from the first trailer where they like the start of the trailer isn't it? I think they're playing Runaway on the piano, but they're playing it like it's a Christmas song, and then you start getting like the Kanye shit moved in, and just from that moment I was like, okay, this is gonna be something, like, because that's so creative.
Like I was late to the party for that one. I couldn't go see it because I had a young kid at the time, and my ex-wife was kind of, she took us to go see Last Airbender. That
explains the ex-wife.
She liked Airbender, most of it. So that kind of tells you her taste in movies. Like we went opening night to see every Twilight movie.
It's not the worst movie if you don't have any connection to the anime.
But if you have even the slightest connection to the anime,
You're right. It's not in and of itself, because I actually did watch it again recently because some friends of mine who love Last Airbender were like, we want to shit on something. They love the show, excuse me. But they were like, we want to shit on something. Let's watch the movie. And like actually watching it like a critic's eye, it's like, okay, this isn't I don't think it's the worst thing he's made. It's like
Camelon's worst.
It's like bottom 3, but it's not the Happening's worst.
It's not even. I personally wouldn't put it bottom 3.
It bastardizes the show so bad. Like it makes you wonder.
I haven't watched either in a long time, but I'm more likely to enjoy the movie than I am the show. Because of my sense.
I feel it just like for someone who did so many interviews where he talked about loving the show and like watching the show with his kids, it's like, did you actually? It seems like you read the Wikipedia page and tried to just interpret it from there.
You couldn't even get the move right, like the like.
You couldn't even get the pronunciation right. If he's a fan of the show, why is the avatar called Ong in your fucking movie?
his name is Egg, and they make
or
it very
or Soka instead of Sokka. Like what?
Well, why
if you're
is
such a
Joker's
fan
name
of the
Arthur
show-
Fleck? Like
It's not.
Okay,
same thing as
okay, that's different. Artistic interpretation is different than not knowing how to pronounce something. It's not like they said Joker in that movie instead of Joker. Like,
Oh, so it was a pronunciation thing?
yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
And
But
not
no,
like
that's
whitewashing.
And he tried to make it more Asian than American too. Like he took it as an anime and tried to run with it, kind of like they did with Dragon Ball Evolution. They except for Dragon Ball, they kind of Americanized it.
They tried to Americanize.
That's what made it
But
suck.
with Airbender, they tried to Japanese or anime it,
and then didn't cast a single Asian person.
Okay, here's the ultimate question. Which one is worse than you guys are? Dragon Ball
The whole
Evolution?
point was
now.
So why I don't like the
Evolution.
anime or the cartoon?
Now the whole
I
Joker
think
thing.
Evolution was the worst movie.
Now, Nikki, I want to touch on the Joker thing. There was, I don't remember where I saw it, but there was a Joker cartoon, I believe, where the Joker was named Arthur.
Yes.
And he did spiral out of control, just like the cartoon. So they keep making parallel. Well, hold on. They keep making parallels to Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. Before, while those were coming out, there was an animated movie of the Joker that followed that, where he was trying to be a stand-up comic, and it was failing.
Maybe Catwoman's the better comparison. Where Catwoman, she's Catwoman in name only, but she's not Selena Kyle.
Why does this sound like the
that's what I'm
start?
trying to say.
Why does this remind me of like the added shit that they put into like what's it? Killing Joke? Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Ooh, no, the Batgirl, Batman on the roof.
No, not that. But like the Joker stuff. The Joker stuff
That would
that's
do
there.
make
That's
it
Where
better.
he's doing like the stand up and
I thought you were talking about the added
That's
stuff.
exactly what I was thinking. Thank you. I'm glad you said that because that's where it clicked. They based it more off of that Joker than they did, Mr. J.
Yeah.
So,
how I
that's
got
why, like,
pissed.
picture him in the asylum being tortured and so forth. That turns him into Joker, or chemicals like the DC. I think that's why they didn't touch that, is because the DCEU Joker has that, and they didn't want those two to battle.
Yeah, so
that part of the movie doesn't bother me. He's just not intelligent.
And I agree with what you're saying of like there's a very close comparison. I'm one of the people that says my biggest problem with it is people tout it as more original than it is. And like my comparison to like Taxi Driver and King of Comedy is like the stuff where it's like in King of Comedy, Rupert Pumpkin is obsessed with a night show host. And in this movie, he's obsessed with a night show host who just happens to be played by Robert De Niro. Happens. Or there's like the Taxi Driver thing, where in Taxi Driver there's the motif thing at the end of him doing the thing, and throughout the whole movie he keeps doing this and the mind thing. It's stuff like that it jacks. Where it's like, okay,
any level of intelligence in the movie though. Like I can't. That's my problem, is that it's not Joker, because the Joker is supposed to be a criminal mastermind, and this guy. He's not intelligent, and the whole entire thing with the shooting at the end, I wanted more. Like I wanted.
That's what I love about.
It's Joker pre-Joker, so you can't compare it to the comics. You cannot do it.
Oh, I'm not comparing it to the
That's
comics.
why
I'm
I
just
love
viewing
about-
it as a movie. Like, he's not intelligent.
Hold on, Nick.
it's a-
Okay, wait, time. Chris, you've been trying to talk. Time.
Yeah,
Chris,
sorry.
Here, guys. I'll do this. Chris, the floor is yours.
That's what I love about with Joker. Like, should I talk about? Okay, season 2 came out like a couple.
Get it the fuck out!
No, I think with Harley Quinn animated show. Not just very much about season 2, but they do something interesting with Joker in season 2. That kind of like I like seeing different interpretations of Joker other than what we usually see him. Yeah. I don't want to go into much because I know a lot of people have seen Harley Quinn season 2.
Joker's one of my favorite 4K releases. Like,
Hey, Matt,
It's
you
beautiful.
Matt,
Yeah,
you
it's
should
a
send me the code
great
for
4K.
that.
Send you
Matt,
the
you
code.
need to send me the code for that.
I already put it in my account.
What they do with his character in Harley Quinn
He's
season
gonna need
2
to log in after the stream, Matt.
As soon as I open these up, I add them straight to my
Yeah.
digital collection. I don't save them. I add them all. But no, yeah, that
biggest
is
problem
What are they doing?
done in 4K.
The head!
Oh shoot, Devin.
Oh
Devin,
no.
put it back on.
So I was gonna say, just because we kind of went off a little bit there, which is not a bad thing, because that was a great
Right.
discussion.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to what do you guys think briefly, because we spoke about the other one a little bit more. John Wick back-to-back 4 and 5. Good idea, bad idea?
Why not?
I mean, they're gonna
Double
make
down
money.
on a good move.
Here's the problem with how I feel about making 4 and 5 is like at the end of 3, spoiler for a movie that just came out last year. He did
You're
go
good.
against
It's well over a year.
against the Continental. I don't want him to go and then lose, and then the next movie he finally succeeded. Just go on, make the movie go on for way too long with the idea that he's going against the people he worked with. He had to take them down and go up against Ian McShane and the woman from number 3, and then they'll fail and then succeed in the next one. I don't want them to end it and then maybe come up with a new story in the 5th one.
Because 3 had very little consequence as far as like the scheme of like the story. It kind of seems like at the end of 3, he's in the same spot he was at the end of 2, and like the first act of 3 is the best part of 3, and then the rest of it for me is just like, what are we doing here? Like, do you even know what you're fighting anymore? It just annoyed me a little bit.
Wait until he gets the rooftop at the end of 3. Like I love the Halle Berry
I saw
stuff.
it. It just
would
bored me.
Would it be safe to say that the violence in 3 kind of got a little gratuitous, like just way too over the top? And
I don't think so.
In my opinion, it kind of killed things for me. It kind of got to the point that I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like, okay, you got it, you're good. Like,
There's a lot of violence, but I disagree. I don't think it was too much. I've seen movies that do it way more.
Well, what I'm getting at too is I don't like the fact that he never runs out of bullets. Like, there's got to be
or knives
where you run out of bullets or something. Like, I know you're picking up other people's guns, but how many guns can you pick up before you find an empty one?
And see, honestly, that was an issue that I agree with you on the first 2. I actually think the 3rd one corrected a little bit, because the 3rd one showed him getting more creative. Like there was the scene with the knives, the shit with the horse, the dogs. Like there was more creative sent to it. And then the biggest gunfight scene was at the end, and that's with the comedic arsenal of guns. So like, of course you're never gonna run out. You gotta frickin'
right. I just wish that moving forward they had more of the strategic. I want to see the boogeyman, like they implied he was
Baba Yaga.
Yaga. I always have trouble saying that. In the first one, I'd like to see him go underground and then start not just running through town and have like this homeless guy, know who he is, but he's living on the street. He's got connections to the mob and everything.
Well, with what they
good disguise as Alan Rickman.
Right. Well, with what they set up though in the 3rd movie, just kind of whole storyline, it makes sense with the end. That's what they've been building up to, I guess, from the 2nd one on. It wouldn't have made sense if he went underground going after all those people.
Is Halle Berry coming back?
I would imagine.
I don't know if it's confirmed.
Because she was like, I thought like she was just such a throwaway character in 3.
Ooh. I liked her a lot in 3.
Like the dog scene was cool, but like I don't remember where it left off with her.
But that's the thing is none of the side characters in any of these movies, with the exception of Ian McShane and Lance Henriksen, is that his name, or did I get that wrong?
The guy, the alien-looking guy from Fringe.
Yes. With the exception
he
of
always
those
plays like an
two,
alien.
none of the characters are meant to be like long-standing carryover characters. I mean, Common was supposed to be in the 3rd one again. Common couldn't make the shoot. They fucking wrote him out. It's nothing like.
I mean, I love they kill him off at the end of the third one. I love the assassin guy that had a fascination with John.
Oh,
Wick.
Mark Damasco or whatever the guy's name is.
And Lawrence Fishburne, they were trying to make Lawrence Fishburne a little bit.
Oh, Fishburne, right. Fishburne's carrying over. He'll be in the fourth one, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was so funny and so, threatening but funny at the same time.
I love that scene in the second one where they're all sitting up on the roof, like a bunch
With the
of
pigeons.
With the pigeons, and then all of a sudden they get in that elevator and go down, and he's taking his jacket off and he's putting like this Chris Jericho $100,000 suit on and shit.
John Wick peaked with John Wick 1 for me, but that's just me personally.
I think they keep getting
I love
better.
all three.
I'm one of these people that I see 1 and 2 as just one continuous movie.
Mhm, yes.
Like, but 3, I wish they would give some time between them. Not.
I don't know what he's fighting for anymore.
3 pretty much continued right after the second one.
That's what I'm getting at.
He wanted more time.
Yeah,
I want the TV show.
let him go to like the middle of the woods or some shit like that, where he's by himself. He's reset shop and just kind of a Logan.
Maddie, I think if they follow the direction that they have kind of set up at the end of the third one, I think the fourth one might actually be what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because he's basically as close to death as someone who's built up like that can get at the end of the third one. He has to go underground. He doesn't have the Continental anymore. Sure doesn't have it anymore. So I think whether or not the action goes as low as it seems like you want it to go and goes to that gritty level, I would actually like it. I think it would be a change of pace, but I don't know if they will. But in terms of him being underground, the kind of less of the help, the grittier, grimier looking version of John Wick, I think that's exactly what we're going to get. I think there will actually be a time jump this time.
That's one of the real things I wish is just let's just see what he does, because in cop shows, I think about this and we watch Chicago PD and all that kind of shit.
Okay,
I'll let you finish.
I just wondered, all you do is see them work, and in John Wick, that's all he does is kill. You don't even lay down to sleep, for God's sake.
It doesn't feel like there's any consequence.
And there's no consequences. I'd like to see, at the beginning of the film, even if it's only 10 minutes, just him kind of going about a day, if he's out in the end
Just looking at his finger, I used to have a finger there.
Oh, like at El Camino, in El Camino, the end of it, you see Jesse going out into the snow and shit. I'd like to see whatever.
It's the same ending that he got with Breaking Bad.
Out cutting wood,
I didn't watch that either.
I'd like to see him out cutting wood, maybe going out hunting to shoot something, and just a down day, and then all of a sudden, let's pick up the action. But let's just see, like in the first film, he gets up. He has breakfast. He goes, he got gas in his.
John Wick eat breakfast.
Right.
So I have 2 questions.
I was waiting for him.
Yeah, are they still doing the Continental TV show?
No,
I doubt it.
That never was really past pre-production.
And are they still doing the Ballerina spin-off movie with the angelic?
I think that's probably happening still.
That's probably in production hell right now due to COVID.
With everything. It's going to happen. They can make it cheap. They're going to get money from it because every John Wick movie has made more and more money.
So excited for
the John Wick
TV show
universe.
Now, I want to bring up his Continental thing. I don't think they're going to do it just due to the fact that Hotel Artemis was basically the same idea. And the movie was fucking garbage. That movie was beyond garbage. So I think the studio can look at it and go, a hotel where gangsters go to protect themselves. We already tried this. It didn't work. Let's move on.
So I was going to say, in a minute, I can pitch up the next story to you guys to talk about because it does take us in a bit of a different direction. But since you were talking about the John Wick spinoffs, I decided to just take a look up and see what they have. So right now, to follow up on the Continental, The last piece of news that was released on the Continental was in January 2018. It was set to air on the Starz Network with Chris Collins of The Sopranos and The Wire to be the executive showrunner, with Leach, Keanu, and Stahelski executive producing. And that was the last that anyone heard about that show. The other thing that they have in production is there is a spin-off film. I don't know if this was what Chris was mentioning exactly.
Yeah.
But they do have a spin-off film in production called Ballerina, which would be based on what was set up in the third film, The Ballerina Academy. And apparently, as of October 2019, director Len Wiseman was signed on to direct, and as of May 2020, Chloe Grace Moretz is being looked at for the lead role.
Oh yes,
and Angelica Houston coming back for it. That one off.
I love her.
Angelica Houston, one that was the head of the Ballerina.
Angelica Houston is not mentioned in what I could find, but it doesn't seem like the project is far enough ahead to have reached a point of deciding whether or not she would be there.
That Continental show reeks of the Limitless show they did that Bradley Cooper was producing.
Sopranos and The Wire, and that, but that's a
I like those names. I like those shows a lot. I mean, the guy's talented. I would have been, happy if they continued it because they got the talent. But
I don't think Limitless, the TV show, worked, in my opinion. I like the movie. I like the idea of the movie. But I don't like the fact that other people can now get their hands on this shit. Now the government has it, and they're giving it to this guy. I don't like that idea. I think if they were going to run a TV show, I kind of wish they would have done something similar to the Bradley Cooper movie, where just some random guy picks it up. Maybe he finds it laying on the.
That's what I think the Continental show is going to be, though. It's going to be John Wick.
They could literally have shot for 30 seconds Bradley Cooper coming out of wherever the fuck he is. Go to put one in his pocket and drop the baggie. They need a baggie this big and a clear pill inside. Right. And the guy walks by and goes,
"Look, if you're gonna do
show about shows, like Spartacus is really good on Starz.
Oh, Spartacus is so good.
Yeah,
you got to get past the first few episodes, but once you get past those, it's so good.
Last year was good. Outlander was good for the most content.
All right,
I'll probably root for Liam McIntyre to get something.
So is this the last story, Aaron?
I can make the last one if you guys want it to end.
We did good.
I gotta stay up all night, so go as long as you guys want.
I was gonna say, if you want to, just because I had one quick story that I can just spurt out. We don't really need to comment on it. I just want to shit on HBO Max for a second. And then I have 3 stories that have to do with kind of blockbuster films that we can talk about briefly, and then we can go.
And then I want to play one round of 6 Degrees. Because all your bitches get to play, and I never get to play. I want to play one round.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that works. Yeah. So the quick story that I'll just wrap off real quick is HBO Max has taken a lot of shit because it launched in May with this huge catalog of films, and they've already lost a lot of them. Some of them have already gone to their streaming services. Some of them have been like the DC films where they're trying to pitch this. They'll alternate on and off. But one of the biggest franchises that HBO launched with is set to be leaving soon, and that would be the Harry Potter franchise, which is set to leave to go to Peacock. I don't really know much about the contract, so there's not much more I can say. That's why I kind of said I'll just put it out there and we can pass on it. All I have to say is HBO Max, you guys are dropping the fucking ball in terms of running a streaming service. I have never seen one service content gain and lose so much so quick. It's ridiculous.
But their catalog is so fucking huge.
Okay.
That's the only.
It is. But the problem is all your main highlights that you launched with and sold, like Harry Potter was one of those things that they put on front page day one selling point, and it didn't last 3 months.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to me.
Right.
Well, they had the same issues. They had the same issues with Lord of the Rings, though, and they worked it out.
HBO Max is doomed as it is.
I mean,
all right. So if you want to go ahead real quick, then that's
the way I see is this. Yeah, they're losing a bunch of stuff, but they're going to be perfectly fine. I mean, if you are going to get just standard HBO, you're going to get HBO Max because all the cable companies are giving you HBO Max. to use instead of standard HBO. So it's basically same thing HBO, but they're adding more and taking more away. So I don't think this is going to affect them much at all. Yeah, it's stupid that they launch with stuff and then it goes away real quick. But I mean, it's nothing that they need to
Netflix
worry
does
about.
Netflix does
They'll
the
be
same thing.
fine.
Amazon does the same thing. Hulu does the same thing. Like,
Right.
True. Yeah, I guess it's more just because
Disney
they're
Plus
so
so
in their
far the only
infancy.
one.
Like these other
Yeah.
other
Right.
streaming services didn't seem to have that problem when they launched. I think that's where the issue is.
Well, the same thing happened with Disney Plus, though, too. If you think about it,
Yeah, I already can't
They did lose some stuff.
Some stuff. Okay, yeah. All right,
Disney-
so I'll go.
I feel like
With-
HBO though, like the selling point is all their like shows anyways. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're super in trouble. Like
True.
we've got the selling point is you can watch every HBO show like ever.
Peanut
So
Butter
like,
Falcon is actually. Thank you for that. It's on my list of movies to watch, and I was going to rent it on Amazon. That helps.
that movie is still my favorite movie of last year.
Nice.
In my
Didn't
top
do anything
5,
for me.
Parasite's in my favorite.
All right.
All right,
So
Parasite was I think I saw it after the hype built up. I
Yeah.
loved it. It was a great movie.
So-
It's kind of overrated, in my opinion.
Is it 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or just 6 degrees like we pick a person?
like the chain link.
Can we mention quickly?
Well,
I
you
would
did the chain
going
link.
to.
Chain Link.
Can we mention
Okay.
quickly? I wanted to bring this up. Ben Affleck is now directing a new movie based on Chinatown, behind the
Like
scene thing.
Big Goodbye, is that what
Yeah.
it's called?
And I'm
Yeah.
happy he's going back to directing because I love him as a director.
You see, that's real. I don't know how I feel about it because are you going to make Roman Polanski look good in that movie? Because if you do, that's going to be hard to watch. At least with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you didn't see much of him at all. He was just kind of in there like, hey, and it kind of made sense that, he wasn't doing anything at that time as far as what people know. And he's just kind of saying, hi, guys, and then goes in his house. But still, watching something that's going to have a lot of Roman Polanski is a little... It's going to be a really weird to watch unless they decide to say screw it and change the director, which I think everybody would be fine with because why, give any
I trust Ben
positivity to Roman.
as a director.
He's 3 for 4, but his most recent was not very good.
Right.
So I'd like to see him make the comeback. But it'll be what it'll be. All right, so I'll run these next 3 down in terms of how important how much I think we can get out of it. The first one, upcoming Morbius Jared Leto announced through his Instagram page that he has been cast in an upcoming film to portray famous artist Andy Warhol. Not anything. Nothing else outside of his confirmation in a casting for the film is known. There is no currently announced attached director or writer. We just know that he will be playing Andy Warhol in something.
All right, who's playing Andy Warhol?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, 30 Seconds to Mars.
Jesus Christ.
I think he's a great actor that has been tankered by this Joker thing surrounding him.
He was great in Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, he's great in Dallas Buyers Club. I thought his little bit part was really good in Blade Runner.
He was fantastic in American Psycho.
He was, yeah. So he's had a lot of great roles over the years. And I'm very curious to see what Morbius is.
Any word on that? Aaron, any word on Morbius real quick? Can you look that up?
I can
I can
Vulture, or he's playing something different.
Is there any word on that?
I can look it up for you.
I don't think it's moved after that initial move.
It's obviously the Marvel vampire guy. Like, I'm
And
excited.
Michael Keaton playing.
Okay. I have a question. A kind of a fantasy idea. Do you think Morbius, because we all know that Spider-Man and most of the shit they're doing right there eventually will tie to the MCU? Fair enough?
Okay,
yes and no.
before we go too deep, The only kind of big changes, and this one was announced a while ago, the film does have the release date coming out next year of March. I believe it's 19th, 2021. The other thing that I was able to find is Sony has not confirmed that he will be appearing as Adrian Toomes. Now, no one has come out to necessarily like say the words he will not be playing him, but anytime anyone attached to the project has been asked, they are not saying yes. Now, before you get into it, and I'll let you guys go, I've said before on the show, I'm the pessimist or the realist when it comes to looking at studio negotiations. I don't think there's any way in hell this movie is in the MCU. I don't think he's playing Adrian Toomes. I just think it's a brilliant marketing gimmick. And I see what you're doing there. And no, I don't think you'll be in it because I don't think Tyrese will want to share the screen with anyone.
Any crossover, Disney won't do it. Any crossover with Morbius, those Sony Spider-Man movies, it's one way. It's unreciprocated.
Okay,
So Sony,
the only reason why I would say it might cross over is because coming out the same year as the new Spider-Man movie and the new Venom movie, so it's coincident a little bit. Like,
I'll say, Maddie, they did cross over in the '90s cartoon. They had Blade and Morbius in the Spider-Man.
Disney won't do it. Like that's
way-
weird. They're not going to give one of their characters to
That's what I was
Sony.
gonna-
They don't have to do that.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. So what I've said on the show before, and this is where I stand by, Kevin Feige has been very clearly obvious in the past about the amount of control that he likes to have. That I think could happen. That I think
could
could
see
happen.
that happening.
But Kevin Feige's been very, like, not open, but he's been very clear about he likes having control over his movies. We have not seen Marvel have an issue with letting directors walk from projects because they are clashing with his vision. We know he doesn't really credit any of the TV work prior to these Disney Plus shows that's supposed to be in the MCU. He doesn't
And
acknowledge
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents
isn't
of
even in the
S.H.I.E.L.D.
same timeline anymore.
He doesn't acknowledge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He doesn't acknowledge the Netflix show. He doesn't care. If it's not something he's in charge of, he doesn't care. I personally don't think he'd let another studio with a group of producers running this film, because the producers on this film, because I have it up in front of me, are Matt Tolmach and Avi Arad, who are both the same names that were involved with botching Amazing Spider-Man. And so I just failed to see why. Now, to be fair, they also produced Venom, which wasn't terrible, but I just failed to see why he would let the MCU hit that. It's funny you mentioned that. One of my stories that I have, my last two, involves Doctor Strange. It's not Ghost Rider, but it involves Doctor Strange.
But the thing is, with the Disney, with the Sony, with the Spider-Man, is that Disney doesn't have any say when it comes to which Spider-Man characters they're using. So if it's a character that debuted in Spider-Man Homecoming or Spider-Man Far From Home,
Kiri or Kenny?
Keanu, I can't spell
Keanu.
Characters like Stark, characters like Thor,
Right.
that's not fair game for Sony to use. They would need Disney's permission, and Disney won't give them their permission for that.
The only way they would even be able to put Morbius and Venom and all this in the MCU is if Sony was like, okay, we'll let you kind of control what happens, but Sony's not going to do that. So Kevin Feige is going to tell whoever does, whoever directs whatever movie, could be in Spider-Man 3, could be Doctor Strange 2, to write out Spider-Man. Like, they're going to use, like, the multiverse or whatever, and that's how Tom Holland will be put into the Sonyverse. Because
I want Gabriel Luna as Ghost Rider. Gabriel Luna's Ghost
keep
Rider
Tom
on
Holland
Agents
as
of
long as
S.H.I.E.L.D.
they want.
Incredible.
Right.
He was great.
Like, Tom Holland signed on for a few, like, more than just the two that Disney and Sony has.
He'll be in those. He'll be in Venom too.
Yeah, but Kevin Feige will have him written out.
No, he will. Disney doesn't have control over that.
Like, they can write out Spider-Man.
But the problem is, I don't think they'll push that back. Sony would be fucking stupid to push that boundary, because I think the moment you put an MCU character in a non-MCU film, that means one of two things. You either have to force that film into the MCU, or you're telling me that you have one actor playing the same character in two different total universes.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Sony's stupid enough to do it.
I don't think they're that dumb. I
guarantee
think they're pretty dumb.
I will bet you $500. Like, not that I have that, but I would bet whatever you wanted to that Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Spider-Man will be in Venom 2.
We can talk in a year when we're closer to the release, and I know what's actually going out.
Yeah, because Disney, if it was up to Disney, then he wouldn't be in it. But it's not up to Disney.
Right. Like, but Kevin Feige can write Spider-Man out. It doesn't have to be in Spider-Man 3. It could be in another
he
movie.
Could write Spider-Man out all at
like,
once. What I'm talking about is Venom 2.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige has no control over
True.
Right.
That's why if they put Tom Holland in Venom 2
So like Ned,
or in
MJ,
right.
Bruce,
If Tom
Maddie
Holland's in
really
Venom
wants
2
to
or
play
Morbius.
the 6 Degrees game.
All right, so let me run through these last two things real quickly. So the first one, because you mentioned Doctor Strange, which is very ironic. Now, this I'll preface with, this is a rumor. I'm not reporting or breaking anything here. This is just a rumor that I thought I would put out there to see if anybody has anything otherwise opinion. So we know Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will not only now be directed by Sam Raimi, but we also know it's already going to feature another major superhero in Elizabeth Olsen. There is a rumor going around that apparently Marvel is looking to add possibly another superhero to this film in the character of America Chavez, aka Miss America. Now, this is a superhero I don't know anything about personally. I just know it's a character that they are potentially looking to add to the film. And apparently, if this is true, the rumored casting they are looking for is a Puerto Rican actress who is between the ages of 12 and 15 years old. So this would be a younger actress, and this would also bring a major Hispanic character into the MCU if they did that. Now, again, this is totally unconfirmed. No one from Marvel has spoken on it. This could not be true at all, which is why I saved it as one of the last things. You know, if you made it this far, then, you know, good for you. But
wait, wouldn't her power be like to win as many like Miss America contests as she possibly can?
No.
Like she wins Miss like Global or whatever.
Nikki, as our resident comic book aficionado, no offense, Caleb, but can you explain to us Captain America, or whatever her name is Miss America's powers?
Powers, I can't really speak to powers, but it's like one of those side characters, like much like Patriot, Miss America. It's like one of those sort of side characters. When you heard this, I think it's going to be one of those things that the best comparison that I could make is Monica Rambeau, where they're planting a seed in Captain Marvel for that seed to grow into something later. I don't think they intend on using the quote unquote Miss America, like using that like that motif, that mantle in Doctor Strange, but I think it's more that they're going to introduce that character. That character will be there, much like Miles Morales was a little bit backhanded introduced in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Donald Glover.
Through Donald. Yeah, okay.
So I think it's a seed for the future. Okay. I don't think whoever they cast will actually don the Miss America.
I would say it's closer to them casting the little girl as Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel, and then a grown-up version of that character being in WandaVision.
WandaVision, ironically enough, also has.
Would it be the other way around though? Because WandaVision's its own thing. Doctor Strange 2 is called the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. So what if while he's in a different universe, she is a superhero, but just to help?
So
in that little chunk, kind of like when we saw in Endgame, where we ran into, Tony's dad, and we had that little conversation.
As far as I can tell, the multiverse rules in Marvel, it's not as much as DC's multiverses, whereas we're going to go to another Earth and there's going to be another version of Tony Stark. The multiverse so far in the MCU that's been like scientifically proven and not like what Gyllenhaal was saying in Far From Home is that Doctor Strange's multiverse that the Ancient One was talking about, it's more things that the human mind can't comprehend, like the quantum realm, like the mirror dimension, different dimensions, not as much a different Earth. Eventually, will we see like another Earth? Yes. But I think when they say the Multiverse of Madness, it's a Doctor Strange movie. We're going to get more cosmic than we're getting another Earth type thing.
Yeah.
Like, so the whole entire hopes of Spider-Man, like seeing the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I don't think there's a chance in hell that happens. We're not going to.
I'm telling you right now.
That kind of multiverse.
When you have all the like images of the multiverses and whatnot, I swear to God, I better see this thing pop up in one of those portals. I want to see him doing that dance just for a quick second.
If you've ever seen the continuum on Star Trek, is they go into the Q continuum and it's dimension that they can't as humans perceive with their minds, so they see it as like a Civil War reenactment
or other things.
So
I want it.
Okay.
I want emo Peter Parker dancing for just a brief second.
Just
a brief second. As they're going through showing the different multiverses.
So it's essentially like delving. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like it's gonna be more like delving into all of the realms that he's already been through, and then probably like I mean, you see him go through all different like dimensions in the first movie, so I assume we're gonna delve more into that. Hopefully,
quantum realm, the dark dimension, the mirror dimension. That's where I think it's going.
Yeah.
Here's my question, and we can just talk about this briefly and get onto that last story, and then Maddie's game. With everything that this movie seems to be introducing, and I just saw Doctor Strange again recently as a part of an MCU rewatch I'm doing, so this is fresh in my mind. That movie ends with a post-credit scene of Mordo clearly turning evil and taking the powers away from Benjamin Bratt. Is that gonna be carried on? Like, do you think those guys are gonna be in this? Because that seems like a lot for one movie to like deal with Scarlet Witch and all of that, and then deal with that plot.
The end. Thor Ragnarok was
right.
Like Loki impersonating Odin at the end of Thor: The Dark World. That seemed like it was going to be a huge plot line throughout Phase 3. It's not. It's the first 20 minutes. It's going to be something early in the movie.
Right.
I hated that. Okay.
I could see him popping up in the end to set up the third movie.
I mean, I also feel like
Mordo is Civil War.
Like Baron Mordo is a huge like Marvel bad guy, so like I could see them building him up, or like maybe
especially with Chiwetel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just put him in.
If we don't see him in Doctor Strange,
hopefully they build him up in the background and bring him back in the third movie would be ideal for me.
Could he be the next, not exactly like this, but could he be the next Thanos? The big threat looming in the background, kind of manipulating things to get to Doctor Strange 3.
I think we'll find
he
more
could be
out.
the next Loki, like the harbinger of the next big bad. I feel like that's Mordo's thing is more like he's
like
always
Nightmare.
a background player for a demon or another like magical bad guy generally.
Yeah, Mephisto too.
So I feel like,
Dude, you need to quit writing so much. It doesn't fit on your screen.
Yeah, I can't tell what you're saying.
All right.
What confirmed that he would coming back for Doctor Strange 2 when he would be interviewed for the Old God in Petra.
Great.
Okay, cool. Because I know they'd already confirmed. I believe they had confirmed Rachel McAdams wasn't coming back, so I'm pretty sure Michael Stuhlbarg won't be coming back either. So that just kind of leaves me to wonder. Like, I'm sure Benedict Wong will be there, but it just kind of leaves me to wonder who is actually coming back. But if he's confirmed it, good for him. That's awesome.
I would bet Tilda coming back.
So I'll jump into this last story, and then we can do Maddie's game just because I think this one's really cool. So James Wan has been on a roll in terms of the stuff that he is adding to his producer credits. Just within the next couple of years, we have Mortal Kombat set to come out to theaters on January 15th. He's producing Spiral, which is the Chris Rock written kind of reboot of Saw that's set to come out next year in May. And he's also obviously involved with Aquaman 2 and the potential spinoff about those sea creatures whose names are escaping me right now. Thank you, The Trench. And he is adding through his company, Atomic Monster. He is adding another property, which is producing a remake of the film or the show, Knight Rider. The movie has already moved forward a little bit as there is a writer attached, and it's a unique writer. So the writer that's attached. The writer that's attached is TJ Fixman. Now, it's a name you may not recognize because TJ Fixman has actually been a long-standing writer for the Ratchet and Clank video game series, and he also wrote for the movie as well that was released in theaters a couple of years ago. Now, he did release a statement today, or when this was announced, he said, Knight Rider was one of my favorite shows as a kid, so this feels like I just stepped through a time portal and high-fived my 8-year-old self. Hey, David Hasselhoff, can we be best friends now? Now, Knight Rider is a movie that has been attempted to come to fruition a couple times over the last few years. In 2017, there was reports that John Cena was being attached to play Michael Knight alongside Kevin Hart in a support role. That seems to have been dropped at this point.
Thank God.
And we also know that David Hasselhoff has released a statement saying that he thinks the best way to go would be to take inspiration from Logan and do a darker style film for Knight Rider. So with all that in mind, James Wan is helping produce a Knight Rider film. What do we think about that?
Well, I think David Hasselhoff said that because he wants money, because he's on Cameo asking for $500, which, you know, you're David Hasselhoff, you know, ask for the 500, you've earned it. But he wants more work. He'll, like, if they say, hey, you want to appear in, before they even say Knight Rider, he'll be like, yeah. Yes.
Like, yeah.
He was in Guardians too. I just saw that as well. He was in that.
True. Yeah, he did
Well,
the
cameo in Baywatch.
credit scene.
Hell, he was in Baywatch for fuck's sake.
To be fair, so was Dwayne Johnson, Zac Efron, Alexander Daddario.
Yeah, there you go.
So I don't really see why not. I mean, it's been long enough since we've had any Knight Rider. With technology, I mean, we have cars that literally drive themselves.
And I thought the show they did, like, was it 10 years ago or whatever? The more recent show. I thought that was pretty good. I liked the show. You know, I liked it.
I mean, it wasn't very good. I didn't like it.
It was a good little show.
It got
canceled.
They mentioned Dr. Brown and Logan. They had me sold.
So why not? It could work. I mean,
John Cena soundbite. That's all I care about.
Yeah,
I can't find it.
All right, and so with that, after owning Maddie's podcast for the last 2.5 hours, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to him. Let's do this thing.
All right. By the way, Aaron, Chris, Nikki, Devin, Caleb, thank you for jumping in. This was definitely, you know, kind of a shitty night. I was really looking forward to tonight because Saturday nights are really fun. So I do want to thank the four of you for.
Thank you, John Cena.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, seriously, guys, on a real note, thank you all for kind of stepping up, and because this may be, you know, after dark with Maddie G or whatever, but this is a community. You know, you, Aaron, Matt, Nikki, Devin, you guys always have a voice in when we decide what we're going to do. You know? So.
And I was going to say, I realized that because I had pulled up all the news stories and stuff, I've hosted most of the show. Credit for this happening absolutely goes to Nikki, the man who before we hit live said, well, he hasn't said no, so let's just do it.
And the whole time I'm on with tech support and they're trying to figure out what's going on, I have the go forth and go ahead sent in the chat. It just wasn't sent.
It wasn't there.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely.
We did it anyway.
For some reason, if like I said, if I can't do it, if Beer can't do it, what have you, you guys all have access to the channel. Run the fucking show.
What if Maddie said no? It's like, no.
We talked about Star Trek for 45 minutes. I mean,
we did. Nikki got wet real early.
Oh no!
Wow.
So all right, so let's start the game. We're gonna go in circles. I'll go first. Beer second.
We're going that way.
I don't know where my board went.
Well, you don't need a board.
Okay, fine.
Well, somebody's got to keep track of who said what, but yeah.
Is Maddie doing that?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Try and keep up.
I can't because I get by my board.
All right. There's not as many of us as last night, so this
it's not important. This is just be casual about it. You don't have to keep track.
Yeah, just fun.
As long as Chris doesn't narc on me about Julianne Moore again, we'll be good.
Dude, if it wasn't him, it was gonna be me. I was about to research it before I saw his
Yeah, but
comment.
Matt got through one that wasn't real.
I got kicked out right at 0 as I said Hannibal Buress
You're over there.
yesterday.
Start us off.
Well,
So
I
it's
just
even.
want to say, this is for fun. Who really cares? If you get one bite and you don't get it challenged,
Well, I'm just saying it was even.
that's more power to you.
exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Like-
Power.
Here,
honestly,
Maddie, just so we don't
Unlimited
confuse Matt and
power.
have him skip someone, just start with you and keep the same order as tomorrow. So go to potatoes next.
All right, so we'll go down and we'll go around.
Okay.
So, Beer, you're last, so you don't skip anybody. Kevin's not here to be skipped, anyways. All right, Mash. I got Chewy Edgy of 4 was in 12 Years a Slave with Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender? No, I'm kidding.
All right, Michael Fassbender was in X-Men Days of Future Past with Famke Johansson. Or Jensen, sorry.
With who?
Famke Jensen.
Famke Jensen.
I didn't hear it still.
Famke Jensen.
Famke Jensen. Oh, okay.
Oh, Famke. Yeah, however you say it. Yeah.
Your turn.
Oh, fuck. Which gene?
The old one.
You do have
okay.
a baseline.
What was that horrible movie we just watched?
You
with
can
the kid?
still say X-Men movies, just saying.
That's what it was.
Yeah, you can name films from the same franchise, Devin, if you need to go there.
Oh, same franchise. Yeah, that's easy.
Well.
Yeah, no franchise rule here.
Oh, fuck. What were the names of those? Okay. Okay.
I've got a good one.
All right. Famke Jensen was in X-Men with Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart was in Star Trek First Contact with Brett Spiner.
Come on.
Okay, Brett Spiner was in Star Trek Nemesis with Tom Hardy.
No.
The who? Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Okay. Tom Hardy was in Dunkirk with Cillian Murphy.
Killing.
Cillian Murphy was in Batman Begins with Christian Bale.
Oh, Christian Bale. Christian Bale was in The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg.
Okay. Mark Wahlberg was in The Happening with Zooey Deschanel.
Zooey Deschanel?
God, I want to challenge that just because it's such a bad movie. Is that a real movie?
Yes, it sadly is.
It does
Was I
exist.
having acid flashbacks?
Wait, what happened?
What? No.
He said Mark Wahlberg was in The Happening with Zooey Deschanel, and I said, was that a real movie or was I just having acid flashbacks?
That's why I ask myself every day with Norman and Norris in a few.
I can't believe Nikki doesn't, or Devin doesn't have Zooey Deschanel. Come
You
on.
do have a baseline.
You can say it or you can challenge it. You gotta pick
5,
one.
4.
You're about to be eliminated because you haven't said anything.
See an extra baseline. See your
I
face.
can't think.
Just say challenge.
No, because I know that.
No, you don't. You don't know him.
And
I'm terrible at trivia.
This isn't trivia. This is
time.
It's
You
kind
had a
of true.
baseline.
Kevin's out.
Answer a face spot. All right.
Just ask for a picture of somebody.
Do you want a picture of the chick? Would that
He
help?
doesn't. No, he doesn't care.
Dude, yes, man. What the fuck?
All right. Yeah.
Here.
yes,
He doesn't know
ma'am.
that.
100 Days of Summer.
He doesn't know that.
Right.
You put him on the clock. It
Okay.
takes it too long to say it.
Nikki,
this
go.
isn't-
Go.
Yeah, he can't think like
Nikki,
that.
shut up and go.
No, I genuinely can't think of her.
No, you're fine, man.
Alex,
It happened.
fine, dude.
New girl.
Devin,
Okay.
new girl. Oh,
So
okay.
do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Nikki,
Okay.
just go. You can start with a new person. You can go off Zoe. Okay.
Okay. Zooey Deschanel is an elf with Jon Favreau.
Oh, good one.
That was said yesterday.
Yes, it was. As a matter of fact, it was.
That's why I thought it would be a
Johnny
layup
Rocket?
for you, Devin. I'm sorry.
I tell you, tripped
John
people up.
Favreau.
John Favreau was in chat with John Leguizamo.
I love that movie.
Chef.
Okay. John Leguizamo was in Spawn with Michael Jai White.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I actually have one for that.
I know exactly who he is. I'm trying to think of all the shitty movies he was in.
Oh,
The one I'm
some
thinking
good
of
ones
is
too.
a shitty movie.
I wish we could do TV shows too, but this is
he's an Arrow.
Oh, I can have a
yeah.
feel.
Because I would have said he was an Arrow with Stephen Amell, but
I've got a perfect one for you.
Hey, the one I'm thinking of is DC related too.
Hey, bitch! Don't.
trying to think of the name of
Don't
the
help him.
chick.
All right, Matt. Sit down, homie.
Do Faceline.
Baseline. All right.
I love Faceline.
He's smart. He's JTEing
Devin's still
Faceline.
hung up on Zoe Deschanel.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You broke him.
I'm trying to phone name to
I
have
thought it was a layup, man. Yesterday was literally said the exact same thing you did, so I thought it was a layup.
Michael Jai White.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
That didn't help me at all.
there you go.
I mean, I knew what he looks like, but
All right, Matt. You're.
Cup of hot
Michael
chocolate.
Jai White. I'm just gonna throw this out there. It's probably wrong. Michael Jai White was in Suicide Squad with Jai Courtney.
All right, beer's
Was he
out.
not an extra?
Matty G.
But that would
Nope.
Hi,
He was
Beer.
in the TV Suicide Squad. No, don't kick him out. Leave him in.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost got my spot back. All right, my
I
turn.
was gonna
Michael
say-
Jai White was in The Dark Knight
Oh,
with Michael Caine.
With who?
Michael
Michael
Caine.
If you said Hugo Kane.
I would have
Michael.
I would have said Michael Jai White was in Black Dynamite with Cedric Yarborough.
I was trying to think of that
Michael
name.
Caine.
Anyways, Michael Caine was in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Steve Martin.
oh, good one.
Steve Martin was in Cheaper by the Dozen with Tom Welling.
Ooh.
He's
Tom
like-
Ellie was in Cheaper by the Dozen too with Eugene Levy.
Was he really? Was Eugene Levy in the second one?
Yeah,
he was.
the
Eugene
opposite.
Levy
Yeah.
was, for sure.
Shit. Okay. All right. Eugene Levy was in American Pie with Sean William Scott.
All right.
I'll be back. I
William
want to take a piss.
Scott was in oh god damn it. Dukes of Hazzard with Johnny Knoxville.
Ooh,
Devin actually knew that one. Yeah.
All right. Johnny Knoxville was in. Oh damn! Who was another person in that? Oh, he was in. Oh man, is it called Adventure Park with
Yep.
Chris Pontius?
Yep.
Who?
Chris Pontius.
God.
I didn't know.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, I
Chris who?
Chris Pontius.
Challenge.
He was in
Picture.
Jackass.
Picture. No, picture.
Okay.
Wait, didn't oh no. All right.
I've never heard of that person.
He's also known as Party Boy.
I've never heard of that person either.
Jackass.
No. Okay, wait. Let me see the person.
I'm doing it. Shut the fuck up, dude.
What was his name again? Chris Poncho?
Pontius.
Pontius.
Here, I'll even give you several images.
That one's from a movie. Come on.
Yeah, but
I don't know what movie it is. This guy
That
looks like
was-
a douche.
That was from fucking Wonder Park or Adventure Park.
Yeah,
Okay. Chris Poncho was in Adventureland with Just guys, I don't know who the fuck it is. We've never heard of this dude.
All right, I'm gonna give him a phone a friend. I'm gonna give him a phone a friend for that one because that one was kind of harsh. Chris Pine, Nikki, Chris.
Not Chris Pine. Chris Pine's in Star Trek.
No, Chris Pine was in here, and this one will even set up Chris if he can pull it. Chris Pine was in Jackass the movie with Bam Margera. Just say that.
That is either.
Just fucking say it, Nikki.
Just say it.
What?
Say it.
Chris Puncho was in
Funniest.
Jackass.
Was in Jackass with whoever Maddie just said.
The name, but...
Bam Margera.
Bam Margera.
Bam Margera.
There you go.
I am phoning
Artillery batteries. That's how this feels right now.
I'm so happy I did this.
I just want to say Johnny Knoxville doesn't make real movies.
Because Caleb, you know if you'd have pulled this.
Johnny Knoxville was in Men in Black with Will Smith.
All right, just fuck it. Nikki's out. Nikki's fucking out. Chris, start us.
He was in Men in Black too.
Okay, let me go. Ruin somebody day. Okay. Melissa McCartney was in the kitchen with Brian DeAustin Jing. Let me throw Bobby at there. Brian DeAustin Jing.
I still don't know what name you said.
Brian DeAustin.
Brian Darcy, is what you're saying?
Yeah, Bobby actor. He's been in a few films.
Can I see a picture then?
I can try.
I can name 2 films.
Faceline. Faceline.
I'll pull up the picture. How about that?
Faceline, yeah.
What's his last name?
Jing. You might even put the help.
Type in Brian Darcy.
All right, I got the picture.
Oh, you got the picture? Okay.
Pictures of you. Pictures of me. Pictures of him.
I like how Nikki
song than the one that came up to me. Oh.
Oh, yeah. See, I.
Wait. I know his face from somewhere. Hold up. I can pull this.
That's the guy that was creeping on me in the bathroom.
I know where I know his face from. That fucker was in Spotlight with Mark Ruffalo.
Ooh.
He was one of the reporters, I'm pretty sure.
He also was the voice of the United States in Dolphina.
Mark Ruffalo was in the Avengers with Scarlett Johansson.
Ooh, good one.
I was going to go for a deeper cut, but then I forgot.
Scarlett Johansson was in Ghost World with Thora Birch.
No, that's a cut.
Who are these people?
I actually saw the first 2 or 3 minutes of that movie.
It's a good movie.
Faceline.
These are names.
No, you used it. You don't have a second one.
Wait, I thought Nikki was out.
I'm out. No, these aren't names.
Yeah, this
Did
is
Chris
take out.
did Chris use his face line?
No, I used it. Chris didn't.
Oh, okay. Nikki, can you get that face pulled up?
What face?
Thora
Birch.
Thora.
All right, enunciate, please.
Laura Birch.
Thora Birch.
Thor.
Like Thor. But a girl. Thora.
Hey, I got
Birch,
it.
Like the two.
Thora like Dora, but Thor.
Or like,
Thora?
And
Fuck.
Or like
I thought
the
you said
female Thor.
Thora.
No.
like Caleb, I want to commend you on this one because even you got me stumped.
You said Laura. Like, who
Yeah.
are these people?
Once you
That's not even
once
a
you see
name.
your face,
Thora?
like there's an obvious
Thora.
Thora.
Who made
Like
that up?
literally Thor, but with an A at the end.
You made that up.
No,
Apparently, yeah.
her
Oh,
parents
shit.
did. Can you blow up one of those pictures?
It's one of them.
Oh,
Oh,
She's
Got
all
it.
of them.
Yeah, that's a movie.
I got it.
Well,
As soon as I
there you
saw
go.
the one picture below, I know what to do.
well, do it then, jackass.
Thora Birch was in Hook It Poke It with Bette Midler. Boom.
Oh
There you
wow!
go.
I would have gone
I think-
American Beauty, but okay.
I know
Okay.
that's where I was going too.
Yeah, but I think you see the Hook It Poke It picture down below. I'm like, yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, Bette Midler, Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Ready for the loser button?
I'd challenge his ass if you ain't got it.
No, I have my.
See, the problem is I
count.
I have a movie. I just can't think of the title.
Oh.
You want to challenge me?
Oh, we're getting the count.
Well, I guess I'm going to lose either way, right? Might as well challenge.
Parental Guidance with Billy Crystal.
That's what it fucking was. No, that's what it was. I couldn't remember what the fucking movie was called. It sucks ass. I couldn't remember.
Movie with Billy Crystal. You know, it's on about poop in the.
All right. All right, I got one. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in Terminator 2 Judgment Day with... Oh my God, I lost the name. No. Stop.
I have a good one for that.
Oh, I know exactly who you're trying to go to. That's why you can't remember it.
Edward Furlong. There we go.
All right, shit.
See, this I would have fucking known. Fuck.
Edward Furlong.
Xander Berkeley.
Oh shit.
I
Who's
want to go. I have one for him. That's why I didn't.
that? Oh no.
Actually, I have two.
Oh, he's in so many.
Oh, fuck, there's nobody.
I have 4.
Damn it.
Shit. Who's the other kid in Pet Sematary?
Do you need a picture?
Yeah, I'll do the face line.
I really like to get that I get to play this game every once in a while, just because it's like we get so deep, it gets hard.
I know
Edward Furlong's not deep.
I know
It's
other
pretty
movies that he's been in, but like I can't think
Not
of him.
really. He's iconic.
Yeah.
Well,
He's iconic for burning out real quick.
No, he's iconic for being John Connor and being like a kid actor in the 90s. And in a movie that came out last year that may or may not be a sequel.
Jesus, can you give him the answer then?
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Also, I don't think he was actually in it.
No, he wasn't.
He did. Didn't he? Okay.
No, they cut his cameo.
That's fine. All right, he was in it's something like Night of the Demon with Elizabeth no, shit, Shannon Elizabeth.
Hold on.
That is correct. I looked it up. That's correct.
Night of the Demon is a real movie? Okay.
That's a real movie, yep, with Shannon Elizabeth.
Okay.
Look, we got Poultrygeist, okay? I'm pretty sure
Poultrygeist?
that, you know, is I'm pretty sure
Renounce your
anything goes.
Shannon Elizabeth.
Sharknado. Come on.
All right, Shannon Elizabeth, Chris.
Did I just hear Poultrygeist and Sharknado?
I was trying to think of the other kid.
I was thinking 8mm with Nicolas Cage.
I was thinking American History X.
Or
that.
Detroit Rock City.
Is 8mm the one about porn?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because I never heard of Shannon Elizabeth.
Guess what? And you ain't got a face. And you ain't got a face chat either.
I got phone a friend than you did when.
You used that already too.
Did I? I only get face.
I thought you. I don't know. I don't remember. So if you want to try phone or friend, that's up to you.
Yeah, phone a friend.
That means you got Aaron or Matt or Devin.
Hold on. If this was an option we could have had, I want to challenge myself back.
Let's save phone a friend. I was just trying to save Nikki because Chris Pontius was so hard.
Yeah, it's such a difficult one.
I can't even remember his name. That's how irrelevant he is.
Him, bro.
Ah, dang it, Jared Rushman. Dang it. The other kid from Pet Sematary 2 that I was trying to think of was the He's the kid from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The like
Ooh.
annoying
Pet
baseball one.
seminary. Bunch of pets learn to be priests.
Couldn't forget
Can I
the
phone
name.
a friend?
No, not this one. This was just to say she. Okay, Chris, answer or you're out.
Sharon Elizabeth.
Oh man, Janelle.
Now I'm really giving you a 3, 2.
Was in.
Can I answer to get myself back in the game?
No,
I
because
was gonna say.
Anna Elizabeth was in American Pie 2 with
Oh, Patty, are you still in?
She was
Yeah.
also in Cursed
So it goes to you
with
next,
Jesse
right?
Eisenberg.
yeah, it's me and him.
All right. So
He was also
Maddie,
in
now
Jay
you.
and Silent Bob Strike Back.
So it's
Took
just
too long.
me and potatoes. It's just me and potatoes.
Hold up, he was in the
Yeah,
middle
but-
of saying it. He has to get the name first.
No, it
No.
wouldn't matter because the connector may outright before you got it.
Yeah, he
Oh.
jumped in like a what?
Not you. It's your turn.
I know. I'm all right.
Yes.
All right. I got one for you, and it's pretty open-ended.
Wow.
By the way, can someone tell me
My
who
bad.
Sharon Elizabeth is? Because then, like,
No.
She was in American Pie.
She's
Yeah,
the one.
she's
That,
Nadia
She's the
in
foreign
American Pie.
girl that Jim wants to sleep with.
oh, never makes sense because, like,
She's also Justice in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
okay, that makes sense.
I also forget her character,
Maddie.
but I know she was in Love Actually.
Yep.
She was in Cursed.
All right, Matt. What you got?
Quentin Tarantino was in From Dusk Till Dawn with Danny Trejo.
Ooh, good one.
All right, Danny Trejo was in Badass 2, Badass in the Bayou with Danny Glover.
That's
Danny
not real.
Glover was
That's
in
100%
Angels of the
real.
Outfield with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Ooh, good one.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was
Is that kid Joseph
in
Gordon-Levitt?
Looper
Yep.
with Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis was in Live Free or Die Hard with Kevin Smith.
All right, Kevin Smith was in.
Tim Russ was in that movie.
Ooh, okay. Kevin Smith was in Fanboys with Dan Fogler.
Ooh. I keep in my mouth.
Dan Fogler was in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald with Jude Law.
Oh, good for
I
you.
said the first one, and we don't have to bring up.
I couldn't pull Eddie Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne. That
Sure,
quick.
have it. Like,
Jude Law was in Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow with Gwyneth Paltrow.
ooh, good one.
Gwyneth Paltrow was in Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr.
You're getting more relevant.
Robert Downey Jr. was in Air America with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, we're getting slightly racist.
Oh yeah. Oh. Mel Gibson.
Are you kidding me?
Patriot with Heath Ledger.
Now we're getting slightly dead.
Heath Ledger was in A Knight's Tale with Mark Addy.
Oh, good one.
Now we're getting slightly unknown.
Robert Baratheon.
No, he's the fat guy.
He's Robert Baratheon.
Yeah.
So much, don't you?
He's Chopper.
All right, somebody put a clock on Maddie because
5.
Baseline.
Who's this person?
Mark Addy. He was Robert Baratheon.
Mark
in Game of
Andy.
Thrones.
Addy.
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 Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking
People
about.
need like normal names, like Mark Strong.
I believe.
Oh, that's who that is. Okay.
Yeah.
I immediately know a movie he's from.
Dude, I already pulled it up. What the fuck?
Sorry, I didn't realize. I was looking on a separate page.
I didn't realize you
Where's
pulled it
my
up
ass on
either.
it?
Wait, did you pull it up too, Aaron?
On a separate thing. I was just looking for
Okay.
myself. I forgot he was pulling it up. Yeah.
Oh my
No,
god.
okay. If you don't get the movie I'm thinking, I want to call it out because it's a
Matt,
hard one.
no. Mark Addy was in Jack Frost with Michael Keaton.
Nice.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Oh my god, yeah, he was.
That was my backup. He was like the keyboard player or whatever.
He's the keyboard.
Can I hold on before you continue? Can I just say the one that came to my mind, and you can judge me that this came to my mind so fast?
Is it Flintstones 2, Viva Rock Vegas?
No, that man was in the Full Monty with Robert Carlyle.
Oh,
I actually
wow.
both of those actually. After I said it, I went, oh, I could have gotten.
Maddie, you lost, right?
No,
No, he got it.
So,
Okay,
wait,
so it's
who was the person said? Sorry.
Michael Keaton.
Keaton.
Oh, Keaton. Okay, Keaton was in... Beetlejuice with Catherine O'Hara.
Ooh, good one.
Ooh.
Day-o, day-o, daylight come and we don't want to go home.
Catherine O'Hara was in oh fuck, what was it called? Weird Science with Anthony Michael Hall.
Nice.
Good one. I was hoping you'd say Home Alone. I'm like, Kevin!
Anthony Michael Hall was in... No, that was the show The Dead Zone, not the movie, right? Dang
No,
it.
it's in the show.
Yeah. Anthony Michael Hall was in The Breakfast Club with Emilio Estevez.
Good one.
Estevez was in The Outsiders with let's throw a curveball. Not a hard one. Patrick Swayze.
All right, Patrick Swayze was in Dirty Dancing with Jennifer Grey.
And that's a callback.
Oh, that's good.
It was the closest one.
I was going to say, there was a real dickheaded move from The Outsiders you could have gone with.
Oh, I know. There's a few of them.
I was thinking the main C. Thomas Howell. Fuck else was he in?
5, 4, 3.
He's got me.
Don't you wish you could have had a phone a friend?
Jennifer Grey was in, wasn't she in
He was in Red Dawn.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Red Dawn,
Ferris
that's
Bueller's Day Off. Yeah.
All right, you guys want to go one more round and we'll call it a night?
No.
I'm down.
Like I really have fun with this game, especially. Let me have a real quick break. I gotta pee like a racehorse real quick.
Go for it.
I'm glad he specified like a racehorse.
Let me pee real quick and we'll go again. Oh, at least one more.
I'm gonna have to get off though.
It's 1 o'clock here.
It's been 3 hours. I don't have unlimited data for internet because my cable and internet provider does not have unlimited. They cap us, so
damn.
I have to watch out. We got a lot of people here, so I gotta make sure not to use too much.
For sure.
So I'll have to hop off when he gets back. But I was just reading through Facebook as you guys were going back and forth. The CEO of AMC has said that coronavirus cleaning expenses will be passed on to the customers. So they'll be raising concession prices and all that stuff.
It has to come from somewhere, unfortunately. It has to be done.
It's going to be like $15 for a Coke.
I mean, I'll just continue to go to the theater I normally go to because they've been charging the same prices for everything and whatnot. I mean, they're a smaller theater, so I mean, they probably don't need to, but still.
If Nikki and Matt both log out, since Aaron, you and I are both logged on, Shouldn't we keep going if we want to go one more?
I'll go one more with you.
I'll
That's
go one
fine,
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta get off though.
I just can't.
Matt, you want to plug yourself?
Like, long one.
yeah, you wanna
We'll
plug
probably
in?
sign once me and Devin are eliminated. We'll sign up.
Yeah, you guys can find me on here.
Cool.
That's about it. So,
Anything about Inside the Horseshoe?
that should be up next
You
Friday. Well, that up next
You can
Friday.
find him gambling with free money.
Exactly. Look, I
Hey,
won
Matt,
350 bucks.
Matt, my my Venmo's in the group chat, in the private chat. You just wire me that.
Too bad I have it being sent out currently via check. And I'm gonna cash it, and I'm getting my $1,000 coming up, and then I'm going to buy my new TV. So there we go.
Hell
Very
yeah.
exciting stuff.
I was gonna bring up something really cool you're gonna do, but this show might get watched by somebody else. So
Keep my
never
meat
mind.
live. What?
No, what you're gonna do for somebody?
Oh,
Like I said, I was gonna say that out loud, but somebody watches this show, so maybe not.
here, I'll put it in the. I'll put who I'm getting to do a promo in the private chat real quick.
It sounds
No,
like we're doing something illegal.
Yeah.
no.
I'm going to right now.
No.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Play the game.
I'm
Let's play.
doing it because it's happening.
It's
That's what
happening.
I'm fucking talking about, you jackass.
That's all I could think of. So
All right.
yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer was in
Cool.
Ant-Man with Michael Douglas.
There you go, Diaz.
Michael Douglas was in.
Hold on.
What
I'm
was he-
challenging
what were you
that. She
saying,
wasn't
Matt?
in Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, challenge. She was not in it.
Who?
Oh, yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, look
I
in
was
the
just trying
private
to
chat, Nikki.
Okay. Michael
This kinda
Douglas
is what I
was
said I would
in
do.
Wall Street with Charlie Sheen.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. What actor am I having to pick?
Charlie Sheen.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was in Rehab with. Wait, that's not the game we're playing.
We gotta talk about my passport, bro.
Charlie Sheen. Oh man, I'm gonna take a guess. I think I'm right. Charlie Sheen was in Major League with Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
Wesley Snipes was in
Maddie.
with Chris
Hey,
Christopherson.
Matt.
Beer.
I see. I was hoping to see a reaction, but there's no reactions. For the thingy.
I don't
was
know who
talking
that
about
is, so I can't react.
Thingy.
It's a future thing for AD that will share when it's sent to me,
Absolutely.
whatnot. So
Wow.
yeah, but
Cool.
Well, I like the other one you're working on too.
true.
Okay. Does anybody remember whose turn it was or what actor it was?
I guess.
Yeah, mashed potatoes with Chris
yeah.
Christopherson.
Yeah. Shit. Chris Christopherson was in A Star Is Born with Barbara Streisand.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Ron Starsborn. Barbara Streisand was in Meet the Fockers with Ben Stiller. Oh wait, no, that was
Ooh.
Devin's turn. I'm sorry, I'm confused because
Well, just
now
go
you
Ben
go.
Stiller now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you go Ben
Uh,
because it's different this way than it is on the camera. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you.
Ben Stiller was in Dodgeball with Vince Vaughn.
There you go.
Good one. Vince Vaughn was in Hacksaw Ridge with Sam Worthington.
Sam Worthington was in Terminator Salvation with Anton Yelchin. Yelchin, however you say his name.
Yeah,
Anton Yelchin was in
Yelchin.
Star Trek with Chris Pine.
And that's also a callback.
Chris Pine was in Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit with Anne Hathaway.
Not Nikki, Devin, Anne Hathaway.
Wait.
well, it was Nikki.
Well, no, I figured I was just going to get the circle back in order
Okay.
on, that we were doing.
Did he do Maddie? Did he say Anne Hathaway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jack, what the movie?
It wasn't
Ryan
Anne
Shadow.
Hathaway. It was
It was
Keira
not
Knightley.
Anne Hathaway.
So you're out. Tater, you're out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Devin, you get to. So Devin gets to pick
Whatever the last one was.
whatever you
You
want.
know what, period. Just start new.
Just start now.
Okay, fine. All right. Ah, damn it. Oh wait, Ian. Fuck it.
Sounds like Devin in the bedroom.
What were we saying?
Dude,
Get it out. Spit it out. Spit it out.
Leonard Nimoy was in.
don't chew directly in the microphone, for fuck's sake.
Fucking bad. Leonard Nimoy was in The Transformers the movie with Peter Cullen.
Ooh, good one.
Peter Cullen was in Transformers: Age of Extinction with Stanley Tucci.
Okay, Stanley Tucci.
He was trying to stump me on that one.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Stanley Tucci was in The Hunger Games with Liam Hemsworth.
Okay. Liam Hemsworth was in The Last Song with Miley Cyrus.
Damn.
Miley Cyrus was in bed with.
Miley Cyrus was in
Challenge.
Rehab with Charlie Sheen.
Challenge.
Hannah Montana the movie. That shit went to theaters, my guy.
That's eliminated. Okay, Devin, your turn. You get to choose again.
Really?
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's how it works. Okay.
What?
Anything. Remember, I'm the one that goes next, so be nice.
Yeah.
Really fuck him over.
Bullshit right there. Remember, I go next.
Ah, damn it.
I love having much while you see a Miley Cyrus up.
Fuck. Alright,
He was trying to stump me last time.
fuck. Alright, fine. Yeah. Simon Cowell was in Scoob with Frank Welker.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
Frank Welker was in Transformers with Megan Fox.
Actually, I don't think he was in the first two.
Fine, fuck you.
I don't think he has the voice.
That was the one that was Hugo Weaving, right?
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, fuck you, Hugo Weaving. Thanks. Alright, I'm out, I guess. Fuck Transformers. You know, he wasn't even
Nice,
he wasn't
Kevin.
in the movie. He's a voice actor. He's not in anything. Chris, it's your turn, apparently.
Chris, it's your turn.
I'll tell you, make it just continue on the Frank Miller thing. Frank Miller was in Scooby-Doo Monster Unleashed with Seth Green.
With who?
Yep.
With
Seth Green.
Oh, okay.
Seth Green was in rehab
Seth-
with
Seth
Wayne.
Green. Here, I'll shout out an awful movie we did yesterday. Seth Green was in Old Dogs with John Travolta.
Ooh, I forgot.
Oh well, you already eliminated. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. John Travolta was. No, I don't want to do that.
Do it.
Because I don't remember anybody else from
Good
that
God.
movie. All right, so John Travolta was in. Yeah, fine. Pulp Fiction with Samuel L. Jackson.
There you go.
Ooh. Let's see.
I'll
Samuel
get the bolt with Miley
Jackson.
Cyrus again. Just
That's not even the one I was thinking of.
I know.
Samuel Jackson was in The Hitman Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds.
Of all the movies, that's the one you pick.
Okay. All right.
I was thinking one to play fight, but I want to go easy because I didn't want to.
Ryan Reynolds was in Green Lantern with Taika Waititi.
Ooh,
Yeah,
good one.
Ooh. Taika Waititi was in Jojo Rabbit with Scarlett Johansson.
Ooh,
I
good one.
Wait,
That was the last game.
That was last game, yeah.
that's right. I was about to say, wait. No,
Yep.
you're right. ScarJo.
So I am
Good one for her.
Again, pick from a multiple number of movies I know you watch.
Okay.
I have one, and it's not MCU related.
I told you to go with Scarlett Johansson was in The Jungle Book with Idris Elba.
there you go.
Yeah, that'll do. I was gonna go her.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Her with Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Idris Elba was in The Dark Tower with Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Love Murph.
Oh, damn it.
It doesn't matter. You're on Matthew McConaughey.
Ooh, actually.
Oh God.
The fourth dimension is love, Murph.
Do I want to
Do it.
All right, fine. Matthew McConaughey was in Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr.
Ooh, good
I
one.
would question that. That's an answer.
No, because I'm trying to think of somebody else who was in that.
All right, Diaz.
There's not a whole.
Robert Downey Jr.
Again,
was
Robert
in-
Downey Jr. isn't anything.
Robert Downey Jr. was in Chat with Sofia Vergara. I think that's how you say her name from Modern Family.
Sofia Vergara.
Was in what with her?
Chef.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. God, she's a terrible actress.
But
so,
so did I.
Sofia Vergara was in Hot Pursuit with Reese Witherspoon.
Sofia
Good.
Vergara was in bed with Joe Manganiello.
Lucky man.
Lucky man. I'm sure she's very nice. I just don't think she's a great actress.
Deathstroke.
I bet
Hey?
it's like a hammer. Hey, I rewatched while Devin's thinking. I
Doesn't matter.
I forgot the name.
Oh, with Reese Witherspoon.
Sophia.
Smoke is coming out of Patty's ears right now. I just silenced him.
All right.
All right. He had it.
you didn't even fucking know her name, you asshole.
Fuck.
All right. What was her name?
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
In
You
bed
can give him the face line.
Yeah, you need the baseline, bro.
Well, all right, fine. Yeah,
It's not going to make a difference.
it will.
I feel like it will, because one of the first ones should be an obvious movie.
Oh, I got an awful one she was in. But
She's been in a lot of those.
Yep.
okay, keep popping up every time I go on demand to look what movie.
I'm gonna give Devin a little hint. Show me the money,
He doesn't know what that is.
which goes right over his head. But everybody else sitting on this panel knew exactly what movie that came from.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's.
She wasn't in that movie, was she?
But I also think you're wrong.
She-
She wasn't in that movie.
She wasn't in that.
That's
Yeah,
Renee
you can't-
Zellweger.
No, that's not her, is it? Fuck, what is that woman's name?
All right,
Renee
so Maddie, you're
Zellweger.
eliminated.
Sweet home Alabama.
There you go.
God, that movie.
Also, there's that one where she's like goes to college to become a lawyer,
Yeah,
and
does
she's got that one color of hair.
Devin could say that if he could think of anybody else in that movie.
you know she's
I'll give you a hint.
Wow.
Not him, but somebody else.
Oh, okay. So Reese Witherspoon was in Legally Blonde with Luke Wilson.
there you go.
Ooh, good one. Trying to think of a good.
I got.
Oh yeah, Luke Wilson.
Their first movie.
I did Luke Wilson in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with DiCaprio. I think he was in either the extended cut.
He wasn't.
He should, because I think he was in the extended cut version.
He wasn't.
That came out.
Extended cut doesn't count. Sorry.
Doesn't count.
No. Theatrical releases.
Wait, so is that technically a guess that's wrong, or?
Yeah, he's out.
So Chris is out. Yeah.
So it's down to Maddie.
No, I'm out.
Devin.
And Aaron.
So Devin won?
It's Devin and Aaron.
It's me.
Oh.
It's me.
They came out.
I really like this game because, like, it just. It puts
Okay.
Harry, by the way, Chris.
Is it terrible that I may have a kill shot that I used yesterday that I kind of want to use again?
Nope.
Don't look who you're playing.
Well, that's why I want to do it. It'll get the show over with.
No, go for it. Take the
Okay.
shot.
I'll change the first actor. Chadwick Boseman was in To Five Bloods with Delroy Lindo.
Oh yeah.
And your winner.
Say phone a friend.
I thought that
Say phone a friend.
wasn't.
No,
Like,
phone a friend.
play.
Say phone a friend.
Phone a friend isn't a thing, Dickie.
It was a thing when I had it.
Whisper it to him, Nikki.
You gave me phone a friend before.
Yeah, but that was a lot. We've had this one.
This is a hard one though.
Yeah, no.
Isn't David Oyelowo in that?
Go ahead and give it to him.
Was it David Oyelowo?
Who?
Yeah.
Okay.
In what?
He's David Oyelowo.
No.
Challenge him.
Delroy Lindo.
Fuck it.
Do you want to
Alright,
phone a friend?
Aaron
Give
wins.
you one.
Challenge me. Go ahead.
I can give you one.
Yeah, give him one. I want to see this go like a little further.
I don't.
Well, fuck
Devin,
it.
he was in the core with Hillary Swank.
Yeah.
But you've been eliminated.
No, just say it. I just want to see him
I phone
sweat.
a friended.
He's not paying attention.
Fine.
Oh,
I'll do
okay.
it. I'll do it. He was in the core with Hillary Swank. I think I can get Aaron.
No, that's not how it works. Aaron wins.
I know, but I
Yeah.
think I can take Aaron.
Oh,
That's
you
not how
want
it
me?
works. You
Okay,
already lost.
so I win the game, but Maddie wants
You
to take me a little further.
Right.
I think
No.
it's good. I think
That's
Aaron
not how it works.
I just
All
take
right,
Hillary
shut
straight
up.
forward
You
then.
guys think-
Okay,
you guys
hold
think-
on.
You
So,
lose.
so
You get
before we,
nothing.
before we go any further, I just have to say the two movies that I had, if anyone challenged me, Bruce just got one right in the comments. Gone in 60 Seconds is correct.
Yes.
The other one, which is ironic because Selma was guessed, the other one was Spike Lee's Malcolm X.
Yep.
I actually went back and looked
He
up.
was in another Spike Lee one, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He's in a couple. He's been in a couple of them.
He's in a lot of Spike Lee.
Wasn't it like,
Oh,
isn't there one like
Kirkland.
Clock Stoppers or something like that?
So,
Clock Stoppers. Oh, that's a great movie.
all right, guys.
That's the one I've seen out of all those.
Chris, plug your shit.
Nice.
Plug yourself.
Who?
Chris, we'll start with Chris.
Okay,
Hashtag plug
so-
yourself.
Everybody can find me on Facebook. I got a couple matches coming up, so be on the lookout. And stay safe, everybody. As always.
All right, Mr. Potatoes, where can you smash people? Ooh, yeah, I got that.
I can smash people here or in the Jack of All Trivia Leagues in movie trivia and stuff. If you want to find me on Facebook, it's Caleb H, or on Twitter at the Caleb Hansen, but don't Twitter me. Why would you do that? That's really stupid. If you're into bad punk music, go ahead and check out the Beta Waves. That's my band. I play the drums and do vocals, and we're not very good. And other than that, just Jack of All Trivia on YouTube and Facebook. I'm doing the IG thing, hopefully starting this week.
Actually, I was going to go next because I was going to let Aaron close the show.
Okay.
You can find me, let's see, starting Thursday night, we'll be back for Suplex City Chats. Saturday, we'll be back here for another After Dark. Fuck, I don't know what we're doing. I got to work that shit out. And then next Sunday, we will be doing Movie Mania on its regularly scheduled night. Also, over on TMG Trivia, I am kind of spearheading the singles division. Hit me up if you want to get a match. Facebook at Matt Graham. Twitter is MattG61907 or some shit like that. I don't tweet, so don't look me up there. Litterbox is Big Little Warrior. I don't use that because I write trivia questions, so you don't know what I'm watching. That's about it. Nikki, Devin.
Yeah, you can find us here next week. Devin, do you have any sort of obscure site you want to plug today?
Actually, well, I could, but
it's only /Devin Mando.
I don't understand.
Essentially,
it's a porn site.
Following the rules of that game, but adding television, I can make a loop between Transformers and Reanimator.
Nice.
Good one.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes.
Nikki, plug your shit.
Oh, you don't plug.
Clint Howard action in there.
No plugging. Not here.
Devin, plug him.
No.
All right, Aaron, close the show.
All right. You guys can follow me on Instagram if you so please at Aaron T. Canole. I will say, after a couple months of being back on the team and basically begging Subrath, I'm finally getting to make my return to Movie Battleground down the road. I left with a 2-2 record. I'm bringing that back to a 3-2. I'm also finally getting to play in the trivia leagues. I'll have a singles debut coming up soon against that man right below me, Mr. Chris Diaz. I went toe-to-toe with you last week in the trivia match. So I'm excited to play you in a real one. I have, if you guys watched last night's Movie Mania, the first game we played of the whatever chain link or whatever it's called, I went toe-to-toe at the end with my teammate Alec Miller. We have our first teams match coming up, and I guess I'm getting tossed into a geek match too because I just like pain and torture. Thank you guys for watching After Dark. This has been an awesome show. This has been a far too long show, and this has been a show with many guests. For those who are not with us anymore, like Mr. Matt Beer and Alan.
Who died?
Yes, they died. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Maddie, for letting me run this ship tonight. And please enjoy the violins as we sink into the water. That's a callback to the first 5 minutes.
And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe.
Oh, yeah, do that too. It's YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I can't hear you with that pity dick.